Neither COVID-19, injuries, and the still-to-be-released grade report could stop tonight's football game here at Indian Bowl. Hi, everybody. Bill Huddleston, along with my broadcast friend for so many years, Nick Hampton, with another Friday night of Muskogee Rougher football. And, Nick, as they said in The Wizard of Oz, there is no place like home.
It seems like it's been about 10 years since we've been here, but it is nice to be home. Good to play in front of a home crowd. Not full like we are accustomed to in the past, but last home game we had a pretty good crowd on hand for what they're letting in, and so hopefully they'll all be back tonight. The Roughers taking on the Bartlesville Bruins, a team that is much like Muskogee in a lot of ways.
Well, they certainly are. Both teams are kind of in a must-win situation if they have hopes of finishing among the top 4 teams in the district. We'll talk more about that as our night continues here from Indian Bowl. It is senior night. Typically, that is reserved for the final home game, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, they've moved tonight's senior night recognition to this Friday night. We'll talk more about that through our broadcast this evening, but when we return, we'll give you a chance to meet one of the Roughers. He's picking up yards by the handful. He wears number 25. His name is Isaiah Gibbons. He'll be our Get to Know the Rougher Player of the Week. We return after this 1-minute timeout. You're watching and listening to Muskogee Rougher Football.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
New Silverado's up to 15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverado's up to 15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverado's up to 15,000 total savings at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
Our pregame countdown to kickoff tonight, we get to talk with one of the guys that'll get a lot of attention, Isaiah Gibbons, running back for the Roughers. Them handing you the football, what is that? How does that get you motivated?
I feel excited to go score for my team and make highlights. So that's the best thing about it.
Isaiah, talk to me a little bit about what you're looking for when you take the handoff or you take the pitch, how you're trying to read downfield blocks and such.
I try to look for a crease because there's always a crease because they either overflow or they're flowing right where it is, and there's going to be a hole opening somewhere because they got to flow down or they're going to overflow. So you got to determine which one it is. You
also seem to be the type of running back though that seems to get stronger once you get past those first 2 or 3 yards. Do you find an extra gear, and where does that come from?
It's about getting hit. I don't think anybody likes getting hit, but I try to avoid hits. So I'm trying to go. I don't like people touching me, so I hit that extra gear. That's kind of my motivation. So
I know you've had a lot of mental preparation from last week to this week, and forgetting about a couple of plays from last week and ball security this week. What do you do as a running back to ensure that you hold on to it and cross the goal line?
I was getting lazy. I was thinking, because I'm thinking they're not hitting me hard, and then I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get loose to the ball because I normally don't do that. I don't ever fumble. That was actually my first 2 fumbles my time playing, so hopefully it was my last. But you got to hold the ball tight, and that's what I kept doing. I didn't do it anymore, so I got to fix that.
Still looking for win number 1 this season.
Yes,
it's senior night. You got a lot of your buddies that are those upperclassmen. What does it mean to a junior running back and to a member of this year's football team to get win number 1 on senior night in a district game against Bartlesville?
It means a lot because, we're still trying to make the playoffs. This is still a chance to make it. And, we especially want to win it for the seniors. I'm going to be there next year, so I know I'm definitely going to want to win. So you got to do it for them for sure.
Isaiah Gibbons, our guest here in the pregame countdown to kickoff. Back with more Rougher football after this timeout. We're back in 1 minute on Rougher Football 2020.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Rougher football tonight here at home. It is senior night as the Roughers are at home against the Bartlesville Bruins. Bill Huddleston with head coach Rafe Watkins. Senior night, typically the last game of the year, but giving all the craziness of 2020, it's the appropriate decision to make here this evening.
Well, we had it initially set in for the very first game, which was supposed to be Putnam City West, which ended up being, our first game was Coweta, and then we haven't had Putnam City West. So it's just kind of like the rest of the season, kind of a crazy deal. But, yes, our seniors are getting recognized tonight. What few we have, we started off the season with 15 or 16. I think we got 5 that's in uniform tonight. So just strange things. But, yeah, it's a group, they've been through a lot. They struggled as freshmen whenever Ty was hurt as a freshman, and now we're kind of struggling as seniors with Ty hurt. But, again, that they've gave us a bunch of good times. They were great role players as sophomores and juniors on last year's team, of course, that was district runner-up, and they did some great things for us. And, I just hate some of the things that's happened to them and for them against them this year. But, there's 15 young men that, 3 or 4 of them first time playing football come out that I wish they'd have been with us since as freshmen, and that'd be so much better than what they are right now, like Seneca Collins and Raheem Payne. Those guys, are just so raw, but they're so athletic that they know so much more. But I'm glad that they were able to come out for us their senior year. Good young men.
Roughers tonight against the Bruins of Bartlesville, and ironically it is also the first home district game. I know you talked about PC West already, but finally getting to play a home district game and only the second home game of the year.
Yeah, it's definitely, we hope it's a better showing than what we had against Coweta. That was kind of a strange night as well, as much as the season has been. But Bartlesville comes in here, with 1 win. They're 0-2, which they played arguably for sure the toughest team in Bixby, but probably the second or third toughest team in Booker T, and lost those games pretty handily. They've been like us. They've had some key injuries. I think they're starting to get some of their guys back, but they've had injuries. They've dealt with COVID quarantines, and, just like everybody is right now, it's not a matter of if, it's when you have to deal with it. And so they've went through theirs. We've went through ours. And tonight we just hope to come out here and improve. I think last week, again, for sure, the first half, we improved a great deal, and then the second half letdown was a big disappointment. Kids, as I'd said in the paper this week, come back Saturday morning, was here for film, looked through that, had a good Monday and Tuesday practice. Wednesday was the 3rd straight hot day in a row, and we just, be honest, we didn't have a great day on Wednesday, and then was better on Thursday. So, get out here and hopefully these kids fight their guts out and get after it.
Bill Huddleston with Rafe Watkins here in our first segment of our pregame show. Rafe, 0-4 start. It's been a long time. Nothing would make this football team gain any more momentum than to come up on the top side of the scoreboard tonight.
Oh, and I've said this too. It's a must-win tonight. If we have any hopes at all of making the playoffs, tonight is a must-win. You look down through there, and we got next week we've got Choctaw, which right now is probably setting as the second best team in the district, and then Bixby, and then Booker T after that, and hopefully going to get to play Putnam City West in there somewhere. I don't look for us to. I was very optimistic about playing them, but I think as it's gone along further and further, they keep wanting to push it down. I think they're waiting, because if they don't have a chance to do anything, they're not going to want to come over and play us. And I think that's sad, but it's just a fact. And then finishing up the season there at Ponca City. So this is one of those that's a must-win without a doubt.
Roughers against Bartlesville tonight. We'll look at the offensive game plan. John Graham will be our guest when we come back after this timeout. And a little bit later on, Travis Hill will talk about the defensive scheme for finding the breaks of putting a stop to the Bruins offensive game. And then, of course, Coach Watkins will be back later on in this half hour to give us the keys to a victory for the Roughers in the winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. Rougher football continues tonight here from Indian Bowl. That after this timeout, you're watching and listening to Rougher Football 2020.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford Promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee. Online at hodgeford.com. Back on Rep for Football 2020 tonight from Indian Bowl. Muskogee at home against the Bruins of Bartlesville. Offensive coordinator John Graham, our guest in this segment. And JW, I mean, this is an offense that you've had to continually retool all season long, personnel-wise, what you try to do, but it still comes down to doing what you do and doing what you do best.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, we've had just one of those years, unfortunately, where it's, trying to get the cohesiveness of the offense. It's been difficult because you've had to replace some people here and there. But, I really thought we got better last week. We did some good things. The quarterback, Newton, played so much better. He's starting to really get a grasp of what we're trying to do. And we just got to be more consistent. We can't put the ball on the ground in crucial times. We're trying to go in and score, and we did that a couple times last week. And make the big play when it's there. And hopefully we can get a spark, and those things will just start falling into place.
Talked about the improvement play of Walker Newton. The game seems to be slowing down for him. You saw the extra efforts of Isaiah Gibbons running the football for extra yardage, but like you said, the ball pops free a couple of times. It was really damaging to the chance to put points on the board. But what I felt like was a real interesting thing for me to watch was the continued advance of the offensive line and those big mush hogs up front trying to push people off the line of scrimmage. And you've kind of got a weight advantage in tonight's ballgame.
Yeah, absolutely. Those guys they've got better every single week, and sometimes it'd be easy to let your frustrations get a hold of you, when things aren't going well. But we've got them locked back in, and the offensive line coaches, Coach Julian and Coach McMillan, have done a great job, keeping those guys motivated. And we need our guys to trust them, run behind them, run behind their pads, and just use that weight advantage that we have sometimes and to wear on people, and things will start breaking free later on in the game.
As you've taken a look at the scouting report, watched the endless hours of game film and scouting what Bartlesville tries to do defensively, what do you expect from the Bruins, and where do you expect to be able to have the upper hand?
Well, they got a really good linebacker core. 28 and 20 are both really good football players, long. Yeah, they're long and fast, and they're physical. They run to the ball pretty well, and they're normally a three front, and they still are, but they're putting more of a six-man box in and walking that linebacker down, and really trying to stop the run, and they got a good secondary that they're able to kind of slow people down in the pass game. So I expect them to continue that, knowing what we like to do of running the ball. They're going to try and shut that down and try to make us one-dimensional. And the areas we got to take advantage of is just the timely shots. When they get a little too greedy, getting the safeties down in the box, we need to be able to loosen them up a little bit and complete some of those balls downfield. And when we have a chance to get those long, sustained drives, we've got to do that and try to wear them out because they have a few two-way players just like we do.
John Graham with some offensive insight to tonight's ball game, Muskogee against Bartlesville. Back after this timeout, Travis Hill will be our guest. He'll talk about the defensive game plan for Muskogee in getting their season's first victory and a district win hand in hand. That after this 1-minute timeout. You're watching and listening to Rep for Football 2020.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee brings mobile digital imaging to you anytime, anywhere. JTK Imaging Services offers parents-to-be excitement and comfort of 3D and 4D ultrasound with ultrasound as low as $100. Services at JTK Imaging Services also include mobile digital ultrasound and x-ray anytime you need them. Discover the difference online at jtkimagingservices.com. JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee at 1631 North Main.
Rougher football tonight at home, senior night at Indian Bowl, district contest against the Bruins of Bartlesville. Defensive coordinator Travis Hill, our guest in this segment, and T. Hill, there's no place like home.
It's always nice to be home, especially when you're still looking for your first win, so it gives our kids a little bit better opportunity in a good environment. And being senior night, it should be great to get that first opportunity.
It's been patchwork, I know, for you and your defensive coaches to try to move this piece to that position, another somewhere else, to try to get the consistency that you want from your defensive unit that at times seems to be still trying to find those assignments, but then at times seems to kind of be making continual improvements.
No doubt. That's what you got, a lot of inconsistency. Like I said, you can make a great play, then be in position, and then 2 plays you're out of position, and so it's been frustrating at times from the staff standpoint. But it's also been very invigorating to watch these kids grow up, and they are growing up in front of our eyes. And every week we get a little bit better. We're hoping that the better turns into a win.
Tackling always is the key for the defensive squad, and being in the right spot to make the tackle and then finish the job. And I saw a lot of that in the game last week against Sand Springs, and you only cross your fingers and pray that it continues to improve here tonight.
Yep. Again, it's something that's emphasized, has been ever since I started coaching, especially on the defensive side of the football. We emphasize it in practice through all the drill work we do, the way we go about our business, including our group work and our teamwork. Very, very important. We emphasize very much. We got to continue to get better at it. We got to track the inside hip, just do little things, wrap up. And again, Bill, I would agree with you. You know, if visually, when you watch and then we put the film on, I told you a couple of weeks ago we played a game where we had over 70 missed tackles. I've never charted that many in 30 years. It's a long time. But now that is greatly reduced, and hopefully we'll continue to do so.
Taking a look at what Bartlesville likes to do. In the past, they've been a real pass-happy team, have had a real good quarterback. This year's quarterback is more the running style quarterback and can spin it. And then he's got some guys that can catch it and then make extra yards after the reception. Well, how do you see their game plan, and what do you feel like the Ruffers can do to make that one-dimensional or just stymie it all together?
Yeah. No, it's very interesting, and we're kind of excited to get out there tomorrow night and see how they do attack us. Because if you would even watch this team earlier in the year, where we had the opportunity in the Jinx preview, they were still doing the things they've done in the past, spinning the ball around, a lot of personnel settings, a lot of formational stuff. They're still doing a lot of formational stuff, but they have gone to a lot of heavy run. Okay, and so it's interesting. Probably due to injuries, a lot of variety of things that we won't know about. Is that going to change Friday night or not? But it will be interesting for our kids and interesting for our coaching staff if we need to make adjustments throughout the game on what they're trying to do. But the quarterback does run the football extremely well, still throws the football well. I do think they've lost a couple of wide receivers that they've depended on in the past, and are they going to show up Friday night or not? Those are things that are unknown, which makes football, especially this year, no doubt. So it will be interesting on how they're going to approach us. But us approaching them is, as you said, Bill, a heavy run team with a lot of play action pass. So our kids have been trained for that all week. We got to practice on what we see, not what we think, the what ifs, so to speak. So what we see is, and I think our kids are prepared well.
Travis Hill, defensive coordinator, with an inside look at the game plan for the Ruffers and slowing down the Bartlesville offense. When we come back, Rafe Watkins will have tonight's winning strategy, brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. We're back after this 1-minute timeout. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2020. Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, Social Security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
We've heard from the defensive coaches. We've heard from the offensive coaches. Let's go back to the guy that carries the whistle and the keys to the bus, Rafe Watkins, for tonight's winning strategy. I think it's really simple. Do what you do and do it better.
Well, and finish it. You know, tonight you can have finish, which we didn't do last week, and just staying positive. You know, bad things are going to happen in the course of a game. It does with good teams. It does with bad teams. How you face that adversity, you know, and we talked about adversity last week because every week when we have a church, devotional after they feed us, they couldn't hit on it better. They talked about adversity and what people's gone through on adversity from the beginning of time. And we talked about it last week. And this team, there's not anybody that's gone through any more adversity than they have. And then to have that last week hit us, we brought it up again. You know, so how we had handled adversity during the course of a game, because it's going to happen, again, good and bad, how we handle that and how we finish is going to be the keys to tonight. We've got to have the sustained drives. You know, their defense is a lot better than the defense they had last year. I don't think their offense is quite as good as they had last year. They lost that great quarterback that could spin it. But they're still, it's you know, every game's going to be difficult for us. I mean, we've got to come up. We've got to be able to tackle tonight. We've got to have the sustained drives and kicking game. We can't have any of the mistakes. You know, last week it was the return that I really think set us back. It shouldn't be this telltale part of it, but it certainly got us heading in the wrong direction to start the second half. So we got to be perfect in nearly all situations right now with where we're at. I hope to see more improvement. You know, as coaches, we can sit there and watch the film. We know that ultimately it comes down to wins and losses for the fans. But if you're watching as a coach, you're seeing improvement. And you always say that on the years that you're not winning many games. But we truly can see these kids making improvement each week. But we also see some of the things that's still glaringly not very good for us and that we are continuing to work on. And we'll till week 10 or 11, whatever it may be. But I'm just looking for the kids to overcome things tonight when they happen. And us playing to the best of our ability and improving and playing hard.
Is there one particular thing that Bartlesville brings with their game plan offensively or defensively that you feel like if you could force them not to be able to do that, that gives you the strong upper hand?
Well, we need to stop the run tonight. You know, again, they'll try to throw the ball some. It's not what we've seen in these other 4 ball games. There's not even close, thank God. Now, he is an excellent runner, but he doesn't throw the ball like the other 4 quarterbacks we've seen. But he's very capable. The thing I think that they've got going for them, Coach Sport, I think, is an outstanding coach. He and his staff scheme really well. If you watch the film last week against them and Booker T, they didn't have near the talent that what Booker T had, and that's ultimately what cost them the game. But the things that they were trying to do, the motioning to get them to go in their man coverage and follow them, and then coming back to the weak spots that they'd leave, you could tell that they schemed. They were coaching right. It's the things that, again, the people in Bartlesville may not understand what's going on. They may be upset that they're not winning as well. But you watch it as a coaching perspective, they're doing things the right way, kind of like I feel like we are as well. They're coached well, and so they're scheming on what we are weak at, and they're going to find our weaknesses. I mean, it's everybody does on each other. It's not as big a secret as what people think, and it's pretty simple to see now how they can go out and execute or how we can go out and execute will be the key.
But there's no place like home to get that first win of the year.
Well, I'd love it for it to be here. You know, we're just wanting the first win. I don't care if it's on the road or at home, but it would be nice to start it tonight, and especially on senior night for these guys that, again, we want to do a lot for them. While there's not many, we owe it to them and see what we can do.
Head coach Rafe Watkins with tonight's pregame thoughts. Winning strategy brought to you by Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law. Back with our Health of the Ruffers. We'll bring in Dr. Leode for a pregame chat. That after this 1-minute timeout on Ruffer Football 2020.
I'm Gil McLaughlin.
I'm Brian Kirkhart.
Thanks, Muskogee. Your hometown mortgage team, Muskogee Mortgage, the McLaughlin team, is proud to be Muskogee's preferred mortgage company.
We are extremely honored to serve you. Just like the Ruffers have a game plan for victory, our daily game plan is to assist families to reach their financial goals.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Ruffers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Welcome back, Ruffer Football. Time now for Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. We bring in Coach Leo Krajewski. The list of things for the athletic trainer never ends.
No, it does not, especially now with the COVID stuff going on as well. It kind of gets doubled. As far as, just that alone, we have to clean the water bottles every day after practice, get those all ready for every practice as well, games, etc. Cooler, making sure the coolers are disinfected. We spray down the coolers and everything after practice as well, the whole 9 yards. And then we've got our other stuff that we normally do as far as rehabs, evaluations, taping, etc., etc. So yeah, it never ends.
This week with the ever-changing weather, and we've had some cool temperatures, but then now here the last couple of days, it's warmed up again. How does that affect the players' preparation and then what the training staff has to be aware of watching these guys out here competing?
Well, the big thing is and we talked about this last week, is hydration. We've got to push the hydration factor. It's like, okay, it's going to be warmer than it was like last Friday night. You got to really prep and start drinking extra water starting on Wednesday all the way through. That way you're ready, you're hydrated and ready for Friday. So we have to push that a lot, making sure nutrition-wise, making sure, make sure you don't be skipping meals, don't be skipping breakfast, don't be skipping that kind of stuff. You got to eat everything. Help your body recover. That's the biggest thing I think that gets lost with a lot of the people, is the recovery from the last game. You don't recover well after a certain game, you're not ready for the next game, and that just puts you behind the 8 ball, and it gets harder and harder to get back to full strength.
And that makes recovery from injuries even more difficult.
Exactly, because if you're not eating properly, not getting enough nutrition, water in the system, that kind of stuff, you're not going to heal as quickly as you normally would. Slows down the healing process. Then you go play another game, and you're already beat up a little bit. It wears you down even more. So it's imperative that they really focus on the recovery.
Coach Leo Krajewski, our guest here, talking about health of the Ruffers. When we come back, we'll talk about those guys that can get back into action, won't play, and then just game time decisions. We'll talk with Leo after this time out for Excel Physical Therapy. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
Health of the Ruffers brought to you each week by Excel Physical Therapy. It's time now to find out who can and who can't play. Leo, I know there's some of our players that have been lost to the injury list for this season. Caleb Webb, Darren Davis, Terry Miles. Even though they're not playing, you still keep a watchful eye.
Yes, we're going to keep in contact with them constantly, just see how they're going. One of the things from a rehab standpoint that I think a lot of people don't take it is the mental state. You got a more positive mental attitude, you're going to heal a lot faster. You're going to heal a lot better. You're in a depressed and negative place, you're not going to heal as well. So, hey, we want to make sure we're touching base with those people. Hey, how you doing? Hey, make sure that keep them a part of the team as much as possible. Keep them a part of the group as much as possible. That way they feel like, hey, they're still vital, and that's essential.
There's a little bit of walking wounded time you get to this part of the season, but those guys that took bumps and bruises last week, what's the health overall report card?
Everybody who was out last week is back this week, so that's perfect. Like I said, luckily we just had some cramps and that kind of stuff last week, so those guys came back pretty doggone fast. But yeah, we're back. Like I said, everybody that got bumps and bruises last week is ready to go this week.
And you got to watch all those cramps here tonight because of the temperatures.
Exactly. Like I said, but as I said last week, it's a lot easier this week because they're more conscious. It's like, hey, it's hot, I got to drink. When it's cold, it's a lot harder to get them to drink because, oh, no, I'm fine. It's cool. I feel great. And then all of a sudden it sneaks up on you and you're
standing on the sideline.
You're sitting on the sideline because you can't move because it hurts too doggone much.
You bet. Leo Krajewski with our Health of the Ruffers, brought to you by Excel Physical Therapy. Back with more after this 1-minute timeout. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
New Silverados up to 15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
Welcome back to Indian Bowl. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton in our pregame countdown to kickoff on this Friday night. Nick, we talked about this in our opening segment as to the importance of this football game. Really for both teams. Bartlesville is 0-2 in league play. The Ruffers, of course, have played only the one district game. And, of course, that was a loss last week at Sand Springs. But with the hopes of a top four and a berth in the playoffs as they stand now, it's time for the Ruffers to find the victory column.
Well, they do. They got to win this game because they've got the crushing part of the schedule coming up next with Choctaw and Bixby and Booker T. Washington. So they really need this game badly.
Certainly do, and the Bruins feeling the same pressure. Bruins have not made the playoffs since 2015. The Ruffers have made the playoffs each and every year since 2016 and are looking to add another one to their accomplishments this season. But right now, Rafe Watkins says it's just about finding a way to get better down by down, finding a way to finish on both offense, defense, and special teams.
That's exactly right, and he refers back to that little pooch kick that started the second half last week that no one fielded, and Sand Springs recovered, took it in for a score, and that really was the turning point in the game because the Ruffers were just down by 3 at that point.
Well, certainly it made a huge difference in the overall kind of the mojo for the Ruffers last Friday night in that loss at Sand Springs. Meanwhile, Bartlesville comes in at 1-4 on the season, 0-2 in league play. They opened the season with a victory over Claremore, 34-10, an impressive win at that point, but then since have dropped losses to Sapulpa, 48-21, Collinsville, 34-10, and then the last 2 weeks, as you said, they've taken on a couple of the big guys. Bixby win a crushing defeat, 74-7. Tulsa, Washington last week, 34-7. What the Ruffer coaches have seen in their scouting, Nick, is they have seen a football team that in past years has been a slinging around the yard. You know, quick tempo, pass the ball here, pass the ball there. But it's a lineup for the Bruins of second-year head coach Jason Sport that is beginning to find its running game and making them more of a successful football program.
Well, they're much like the Ruffers in that they don't really have a lot of key players back in terms of the skill positions. They got a brand-new quarterback who was a defensive back last year, and as you mentioned, that's really been one of the hearts of their team in the past is a skilled quarterback that can pass. They do have strength in terms of the line. They got several of their linemen back. And defense really is going to be the strength of this Bartlesville team. They've got a good, solid linebacking core that's all back from last year. So that'll be the heart of their team, and they'll be trying to stop the Ruffers defensively and try to get something going offensively.
I think the Ruffers here in 2020 are continuing to have to grow up, and they're having to virtually grow up almost day by day in practice or in games, certainly, because the lineup that was scheduled to be on the field offensively and defensively at the first of the season and what it is here now going into game number 5 is the difference between daylight and dark.
Well, and, you know, not only did the Ruffers suffer through all the injuries that they've had in preseason and early in the season, but, you know, the COVID has also had its impact, and we've had players, different positions all during the game so far. You got different players, particularly in the line, coming and going, and that really makes things a little tougher. So, yeah, it has been a topsy-turvy campaign. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Bartlesville tonight winning the toss. They deferred their choice to the second half. Coach Rafe Watkins, his captain out there tonight, is Jacob Brennan, one of the seniors that is playing here on this senior night. He tells the official tonight that the Ruffers will kick off and defend the south goal. That means the defense will go on the challenge first of all, Nick. And a couple of guys on the outside edge, Devin Whitfield and Malachi Whitfield, continue to get better game by game.
Devin Whitfield particularly, he had several great tackles last week in the Sand Springs game, came across the field on a number of occasions. I think he ended up with 11 or 12 total tackles, 2 or 3 for losses, and so he's really been kind of a bright spot on that defense for the Ruffers that otherwise has been kind of battered and bruised.
Keenan Adams, LaShawn Mans will be in the middle of that defensive front. The linebacking core is going to have to be solid, stopping the run as well as defending those quick little out-route passes of the Bruins. Deshaun Smith, Hunter Hess in the middle, and then Juicy Ronald Warren back over at the strong side backer. But a guy who is winning the hearts of the coaching staff because of his continual development game by game, day by day, learning his position, is Keandre Johns. He's kind of a player in making. The cornerback for the Ruffers, he'll be on one side. Seneca Collins will be on the other. We're spending some time with Jaden Bell. And then Aiden Kemp and T.K. Thompson will start in the secondary, but look for 7 and 25 to also be up there continuously, whether it's Isaiah Gibbons playing some linebacker spot or it's Antonio Zapata at one of those safeties.
Well, and it'll be interesting to see how much they will be able to use Isaiah on both sides of the ball tonight. He was an effective runner last week, although he did have those key fumbles, but toward the end he was needed more on defense, and so they will try to even it out and see if they can use him both ways, but you got to make sure you don't run him out of gas.
Well, Ruffers making their way onto the artificial surface here at Indian Bowl through the band tunnel playing the school fight song. And, Nick, I really like this combination of the uniform, the white pants, the traditional Ruffer green jersey, the big, bold white letters, which makes it easier for me and you to see, and then that big block Muskogee logo M on the side.
And a lot of the Ruffers also have the pink leggings on tonight, you'll notice, is a tribute to Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October. So it really does stand out. And like you say, after last week trying to figure out who was on the field for Sand Springs, having numbers you can actually read on the opponents tonight will be a welcome change.
Certainly tonight also being senior night, a lot of different groups and organizations being introduced in pregame ceremonies. That included our senior members of Ruffer TV. And, of course, one of those seniors is doing a little at-home stay tonight, a little social distancing. Kylie Gialetti, who normally is right here in the broadcast booth with us, running all the productions. Other members of our squad, Maddie White, Gracie Jameson, the hydration specialist for the Ruffer TV crew. Little inside joke there, Nick. Josh Garner and our newest member, Bree Gialetti, and, of course, the captain of the ship, Shane Stewart.
And he's down as well at home tonight as well, so we've got Steve Braun handling the ship tonight in terms of the production of our television and streaming. So a lot of people here and there and everywhere, not here, some of them at home recovering.
So now Bartlesville opted to defer their choice to the second half. Ruffer's going to take the football and will defend the south goal, and Muskogee ready for this kick. And I guarantee you, Nick, that the Ruffer special teams and this kick return team is going to catch the football.
Dylan McCoy will kick it away for Bartlesville. Jaden Bell back deep, standing around his own 3.
Bartlesville in their pale blue pants. Little short pooch kick that's going to bound around the 30, and Ruffers come up and fall on it quickly. And boy, that was a squirming worm on a hot sidewalk. And finally, Muskogee able to find the handle on it. And Ruffers will start 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. But, Nick, that checked up better than any golf shot I've ever hit onto a green.
That really caught the receivers kind of off guard, and they had to squirm, make sure they got that after we just talked about making sure they would fall on that pooch kick.
So it'll be Walker Newton, the starting quarterback tonight for the Ruffers. He'll have Isaiah Givens lining up to his right shoulder. Ruffers will put Twins short to the boundary left side and Zapata out wide to the right. Newton out of the gun, as I think the Ruffers may have actually started with 12 players on the field. Jaden Bell came sprinting off just prior to the snap, or Raheem Payne.
Yeah, I think you're right.
See if Muskogee called a timeout, if they'll take the penalty. Our Whitehead will give us the answer.
We have a dead ball, illegal substitution, 5 yards, replay 1st down.
So the mental mistakes start right from the very beginning as the Ruffers, instead of having 1st and 10 from the 28, now will have an extended chain to have to try to move the sticks back to the 23-yard line, where it will be 1st down and now 15. Ruffer football this season brought to you by Cornerstone Funeral Home, J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac, and by Bravado Wireless. Newton out of the shotgun. Takes it, hands it off to Isaiah Givens, finds a crease, drives his legs forward, struggling to get upfield, and gets back about the 5 yards, lost on the penalty. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Givens, of course, was our guest in our pregame. Get to know the Ruffers.
And, of course, the linebackers come in here and make a good stop. Hunter McClintock, one of them. Max Munoz, the defensive end for Bartlesville, also in on the stop for the Bruins.
Bruins have, like the Ruffers, given up a lot of points this season. Ruffers would like to equal their defensive average, giving up 40 points a game through the first 5 contests. Now Newton down the line, a little read option, hands it off to Isaiah in the backfield, and he has stood straight up. Good presence up front. Curtis Fodder, one of the first guys that got in there, along with Colton Green. Ruffers actually lose yardage there, Nick. Back upfield to the 27. That'll bring up our first 3rd and long distance situation for the Ruffers. They need to go out to the 38-yard line to stay in front of the sticks.
Timing was way off on that play for some reason, as Newton and Gibbons almost collided on that handoff, as Newton got a little too far over and Isaiah didn't have any room to run.
Payne and Bell will be wide to the right. Newton back in the pocket, sets up, waits, dances around, looks to get outside, can't elude the pressure, and will be dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. The linebacking core much recognized, and it was Braden Winters who was the spy on the Ruffer quarterback, and Newton unable to avoid the pressure. We drop back at the 24-yard line. A loss of 3 on the play, and the Ruffers will have Antonio Zapata back to punt.
Newton Winters, the leading tackler for the Bruins, 70 tackles coming into the game.
3-year starter at that linebacker spot for the blue and white clad Bruins. Zapata will stand back around the 10 to wait on the long snap. It's right at his knees. Pressure up the middle. Quick one-step release. Nobody back to field it. It takes a Muskogee bounce. It'll bounce and roll inside the 35 to the 33-yard line in Bartlesville territory. But a 3 and out for the Ruffers. Now Bartlesville will get its first chance to execute its offensive game. Pioneer Abstract, Northeast Oklahoma Health System, Suddenlink, along with James Hodge Ford. Proud to be a part of Ruffer football here on our live stream, as well as on our radio broadcast with our partners at Okie Country 1017.
44-yard punt by Zapata with no one back for Bartlesville, so it got a nice friendly roll. Helped him get the yardage.
Paxton Bradford will bring the offense to the line of scrimmage. He'll have a blocking back up in front of him. They'll run the little counter, hand it off in traffic. Big hole coming left side, 40, 45, across midfield, down the boundary. 35, 30, 25, 20. Ruffers trying to give chase, can't make him down, and he goes into the end zone. Touchdown. Dylan McCoy takes it 67 yards on the counter, and the Ruffers got blocked inside, and there was nobody guarding the hen house, and McCoy scampers 67 yards to put Bartlesville quickly out in front.
Well, that's not something that Rafe Watkins wanted to see. Is again, they were hoping to make Bartlesville do all of the long distance having to get down the field, and they get it all in one play.
McCoy, after that long touchdown run, will try the PAT. Ruffers come in with a quick race, but can't get to it. The PAT is good. A timeout on the field. 9:45 left, quarter number 1. Bartlesville, 1 offensive snap and 1 touchdown on an extra point to make it 7-0. Bruins in front of the Ruffers. Back in 30 seconds. This is Muskogee Ruffers football.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Bravado Wireless, one of our broadcast partners here in 2020, along with Michael A. Finnerty, attorney at law, who brings you each week's pregame look at the upcoming keys to victory in the winning strategy. Buffalo Wild Wings, along with David Cobb, State Farm Insurance. 1 snap, 7 points. Bruins quickly out in front.
Well, the Ruffer offense now is going to have to kind of find a way to see if they can get things going and get even with them. Don't like to see those big plays, electric plays. Kind of gets the morale down a little bit. McCoy to kick it off. Everyone has elected so far, for the most part, to do the little short pooches this year and not let Jaden Bell get his hands on the ball.
Well, McCoy is a multi-talented young man because he not only knows what to do with the football in his arms as he raced the 67 yards for the end zone, his second rushing touchdown of the year, but now he'll kick off. Again, another little short pooch kick. Ruffers will catch at the 30. Bring it up the middle to the 34, maybe the 35, depending upon the placement of the football.
Malachi Whitfield on the return for the Ruffers.
But he was one of the ones that was getting some last-minute instruction from special teams coordinator Ryan Dvorak. And I can just tell you, you don't want to mess with the Kansas Red Rocket, especially if you're not going to catch an onside kick. 1st and 10 for the Ruffers. 9:41 to play here in quarter number 1. Ruffers will start 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. Second offensive series of the night. Blocking back is to the right side. They'll counter, hand it off. Gibbons trying to find a crease, and there's just no running room. A little pushing and shoving after the play, but Gibbons had no place to escape as the Bruins just kind of crowded the box, Nick, and just left no lane to run through, and Gibbons gets back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
Well, the Muskogee offensive line is going to have to find a way to open up some holes and control that line of scrimmage a little bit better, or it's going to be a long night for the Ruffer O.
Lasher Millsap, JTK Imaging Services, Muskogee Mortgage, along with Nissan Muskogee, helping to bring you Ruffer football in our broadcast this season. Newton out of the backfield. Play action, waits, now being pressured, comes to the edge and had no escape route, and he had nobody to throw it to. Antonio Zapata was the lone receiver on the near side, and Rocky Schumann, another one of those 2-3-year starters at linebacker for the Bruins, gets into the face of Newton and drops him back at the 32-yard line, a loss of 3, but it was a coverage sack as well because the outside defensive effort of Gage Keaton on the near side left Newton no choice but to take the loss.
And he waited a little too long to make that decision, and they had him boxed in.
So now with Gibbons to his left side, back in the pocket, Newton sets, waits, looks, cocks his arm, throws the ball just as he's hit the ball up in the air. It's caught! Ruffers make the grab.
Wow.
Nice effort that time by the Ruffer receiver, and that is T.K. Thompson. A big catch. Goes all the way from the 32 across midfield to the 49. 19 yards on the pass reception. That's good enough for a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Ruffer. 1st down and 10.
Wow, and Newton got clobbered just as he threw that ball. Woo. Amazed that he got that off and found TK. Wow.
So into Bruin territory now, as Zapata will be the lone wide receiver left. 2 receivers to the right side. Bell, along with, now the Ruffers will bring Jaden Bell back in an outside handoff, trying to create a little bit of deception with Bell coming in motion and leaving nothing for Isaiah Gibbons. He is a marked man, Nick. That football is going to be actually on the downside of the 50. We'll call it a loss of 1 on 1st down. 2nd down 11. Ruffers have been behind the chains pretty much all night long.
Gibbons just hasn't found any tractions. 4 carries for just 3 yards for the senior.
So now Muskogee facing a 2nd and 11, trailing 7-0, 7:23 to play, and the clock running here in the first quarter of action. Scoreboard update brought to you by James Hodge Ford. Ruffers will send Thompson along with Raheem Payne and Jaden Bell, a trio of receivers to the wide side left. Back in the pocket, Newton's under pressure, steps up, now dances, tries to get to the edge, and just can't outrun the pursuit of the defensive group of the Bruins. The pressure came off the edge from the defensive end. Looks like that was Jack Blevins that got in there quickly, but there was no room for Newton to escape. He's fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, and leave a now 3rd down and 11.
Really was, because they had him kind of pinned back at around the 45, and he managed to get a little bit of distance and get back to the line of scrimmage.
So now Gibbons with Thompson. Gibbons will line him to the left of Newton. Rolls to the left side, looking to square his shoulder. Slings one in the open space. This is again T.K. Thompson, 35-30, 25. Looking for a block, can't get out there. He'll be finally wrestled down, but Thompson with a nice little slip move, but there is laundry on the field back up around the line of scrimmage, which may well be a holding penalty.
That's too bad.
Game went all the way to the 16-yard line. Let's see what the flag is.
34 yards, but it's a hold against the Ruffers. So
it's going to wipe out a nice catch-and-run effort by T.K. Thompson.
Wow, that's too bad. And he was wide open around the 40, and then he made a great move that just took the safety out of it, and he got another 15 yards after he juked out the safety.
Yeah, those Wrangler jeans he wears, he might need to put a belt on them with the way that TK did that little slip move. But the penalty will back it up to the 40 on the offensive holding. And now the Ruffers will be needing to go from their 40 to the 39 in Bruin territory, meaning we've got a 3rd and 21. Ruffers are 0 for 1 on their one and only 3rd down chance. Raheem Payne, Bell, and Thompson, a trio of receivers, split wide to the left with Zapata manned up on the outside edge, the right side. Newton's going to roll left, throw in the flat again, making the catch. T.K. Thompson does a little juke, lost the football, had it stripped out, and it's recovered by the Bruins. Will they mark it down? Yo, they're going to give it. Thompson did a little shake and bake move, and that's one of those where you need to learn, take a knee, my friend. And it, again, is one of those standout, talented linebackers, Braden Winters, with the strip and the fumble recovery.
Wow. He got at the 43-yard line, got some nice yardage out of it, but then fumbles after the reception.
So that'll give Bartlesville Ruffer territory position to begin this second drive. Leading 7-0, 6:09 to play here in the first quarter of action. Senior night celebration for the Ruffers here tonight, but the Bruins have had all the excitement to this point. Had a little shotgun, throw the pass in the flat, catch is made in space, wrapped up quickly and tossed to the ground. Making the tackle for the Ruffers is Aiden Kemp. Game will go downfield from the 43 to the 39 on the first down pass reception. 4-yard pickup.
Just a little short flare pass, just a little button hook for 4 yards, and a good effort there by Kemp to make the quick tackle.
Now 2nd down and 6. As Paxton Bradford, who a year ago played in the defensive secondary, the starting signal caller. He'll roll to his right. Ruffers trying to give chase, throw it up on the catch, squatting in space at the 30-yard line, and finally wrapped up and dragged down. Caleb Perry on the receiving end of that toss that was on the money from Bradford. Going downfield from the 39 to the 30. It's a 9-yard pickup, but more than enough needed to move the chains and give the Bruins a 1st and 10 at the Muskogee 30-yard line. 5:23, clock running here in quarter number 1. Bartlesville with a quick one-play strike score on their first possession, and now having a great opportunity after the fumble recovery in Ruffers into the field. Bradford with a running back to his left this time, brings motion. Hands it off. This is again McCoy trying to get to the edge, dancing his way to the outside boundary with a little blocker in front, and he'll scamper his path all the way down to the 16-yard line. Another 14-yard run for Dylan McCoy, who came in motion, Nick, and took that handoff and then got out on the edge and used his quickness and agility to pick up the first down.
And the Ruffers missed a couple of tackles on that as well and gave him another 5 yards or so.
This time, Bruins will put 2 receivers to the right side. One of those, Colston Ginzer. Bradford this time out of the shotgun with McCoy lined up as a running back to his right side. Play clock down to 1, down to 0, and either there's a timeout taken, which the Bruins will do, to avoid the 5-yard delay of game penalty. 4:40 left, quarter number 1. Bartlesville threatening to add to their 7-0 advantage over the Ruffers. We're back at Indian Bowl after this 30-second timeout. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back at Indian Bowl. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton on this senior night celebration, but Bartlesville having all the fun to this point. A 7-0 lead and 1st and 10 at the Muskogee 16-yard line. Bradford out of the shotgun. Little counter handoff, gives it to McCoy, breaks a tackle at the 15 and rumbles downfield to the 10. That little false step, Nick, is just a simple little counter play. Pull a guard, lead him through the hole, and give your running back a crease, and McCoy's done a pretty good job of it. He picks up 6 on this first down play.
Just one little quick stop. It delays the movement enough, gets the offense or the defense going one way, and he cuts back the other. Now the official's having a conversation.
See what our referee can tell us.
Rafe Watkins there on the sideline with his hands on his hips, kind of saying, wondering what's going on. Referee is William Shepard.
Okay, we have offsetting dead ball personal fouls, one on each team. Those distances will offset. It's still first down.
No, it
shouldn't be first down. Should be 2nd and 4.
Well, I think they're going to say it was during the play, Nick, so it'll negate the 6-yard run on first down and bring it back out to the 16. If I'm Jason Sport, I'm saying, wait a minute, was that during the play or was after the play?
I thought he said after when he first said it.
I think that's what Sport is questioning here. And now the side judge is going to come in and reconnect with the white hat. Ruffer Football in 2020 brought to you in part by Buffalo Wild Wings, who helps to bring you our Player of the Game award each and every broadcast of Ruffer Football here in 2020. Suddenlink, along with J. Hodge, Chevrolet, Cadillac, and Cornerstone Funeral Home. Now they have said the play will count. Okay.
I was going to say, I thought he said dead ball foul when he first said that.
So make it a 2nd and 4 for the Bruins. Official will correct his play and his interpretation.
It was a dead ball. The yardage gained is accepted.
So we get the interpretation.
In other words, I messed up.
Well, it won't be the first and it won't be the last. Paxton out of the shotgun. Bradford going to play action series, going to hand it off inside, giving it to the bullish fullback who rumbles into the end zone for the touchdown.
Wow.
Couldn't tell who that was.
I think it was Perry.
But the Bruins cash in on a 10-yard touchdown run.
Or it could have been Winters. Winters has some carries coming into the game.
And Dylan McCoy will be right back out to try the PAT.
I think it was Winters.
Now the officials are huddling up with the captains on the field. Things have been a little bit chippy here throughout the evening. Of course, you're a young football team and a frustrated football team having gone on as we have all year long.
Both of these teams are that way.
Exactly. McCoy will try and make it a 14-0 lead for the Bruins. And now, I hear a whistle from my thought. Ball is down on the kick. It's up, and it is good. There's a timeout on the field. 4:23 to play. 14-0 Bartlesville leading Muskogee. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
Back Bowl, 4 minutes, 23 seconds left in quarter number one. Muskogee on the short end of the scoreboard. Nick, right now, perhaps Rafe Watkins and his staff might want to be picking up the phone and calling 682-2511, looking for some life insurance, because right now the Bruins are taking the life out of the Ruffers. But whenever you might need insurance, remember the number to call is 918-682-2511.
Who is that?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm insurance agent David Cobb is always there to protect your home, your health, your life, your business. I'm sure he could even hook you up with a little pet insurance if that was the need. And I know that there are folks that had their pets insured. But if you need insurance for any cause, count on the dependability of service and responsibility. State Farm insurance agent David Cobb, 918-682-2511, a friend to the Muskogee Ruffers.
Now let's see where McCoy goes with this one. They've kicked it at Whitfield, Malachi Whitfield, the 2 times he's kicked off. Let's see if they go that way again.
So Dylan McCoy will be on to do it. Caleb Perry was the young man that did get the score. And again, McCoy will hit a little pooch kick. Ruffers will let it bounce, pick it up on a hop. This is Thompson trying to find a crease, getting to the edge, and TK is ushered out of bounds. Making the tackle for the Bruins was Caden Brown along with Devin Beck. But Thompson, who has had his hands on the football about as much as Walker Newton has, Nick, gets the ball on the kickoff return out to what will be the 38-yard line to begin their third offensive series, and yet to have picked up a first down. So trailing 14-0.
Offense has got to hold on to the ball, number one, and they got to move the chains on this series.
Walker Newton this time to the right side of Isaiah Gibbons. Referee wants to reset the 25-second clock, and he'll do so. Ruffers will put Twins wide to the right. Now the running back goes in motion. This is Newton going to keep it, cuts up field, gets out to about the 40-yard line, picking up a couple. Ruffers that time had Brandon Batiste in the lineup instead of Gibbons. So it'll be second down, and we'll call it 8 from the 40-yard line. Batiste a week ago had some carries for the Ruffers.
Came in late when Isaiah was out of the game.
Ruffers will have Raheem Payne and Jaden Bell coming wide to the left side. Zapata on the opposite side of the field. Newton takes it. Blitz comes up the middle. Newton waits, throws across the middle. Wide open. Raheem Payne, 45 at the 40. And will take the ball inside the 40-yard line down to the 38 in Bruin territory. 12 up, another 13 down as they're going to put it at the 37. That's a 25-yard pass and run combination. Newton to Payne. First and 10 for the Ruffers. First and down and 10, J. Hodge, Chevrolet Cadillac.
Ruffers got away with a massive hold on that play.
Yes, they did. But the way this offense struggles, you'll look the other way. First and 10 now from the 37. Little counter play, handed off inside, and there's not much of a running room as Newton actually kept the football. He gets back to the line of scrimmage where it'll be second down and 10. But right now, Nick, the up front battle on the line of scrimmage is being dominated by the guys wearing the powder blue and white, the Bruins of Bartlesville.
The Bruins coming into the game had an offensive front with that 3-man line averaging 242 across that front.
Now Bell and Payne will split wide to the right side. Zapata will be the lone receiver to the left. Newton takes the snap, sets in the pocket, throws across the middle, and was throwing it up for Raheem Payne. It comes off his fingertips. A diving effort and a launching effort by the defensive back of the Bruins. That is Jensen Laws. He comes up with the INT, but there is a flag down on the play.
Right at the point of the interception, so let's see what the call is going to be.
See if it's a interference call or if it is
Jason Sport all the way out on the field for Bartlesville. Ask what's going on here.
Officiating crew launched that laundry on the field, and let's see what our referee tonight will give us his interpretation. This may have been afterwards, but we'll see.
Okay. On the play, the call is incomplete. After the play was over, we have a dead ball and sportsmanlike on Bartlesville.
All right, so the diving effort for the interception was ruled to be incomplete. And then afterwards, whatever was said or done results in an unsportsmanlike 15-yard penalty against the Bruins. And that will move the ball downfield to what should be the 22-yard line. And that's where it'll be a 1st and 10 by penalty for the Ruffers. First down, Jay Hodge, Chevrolet Cadillac. Walker Newton going to roll to his left. Squares up, throws underneath, catches made at around the 15. Again, it's T.K. Thompson on the grab. Down at the 15-yard line, so that'll be a 7-yard pickup. Nice little 1-2 combination between Walker Newton, who is only a sophomore, and T.K. Thompson, who is playing his senior night here in front of the home crowd at Indy Bowl.
Walker Newton 4 for 4 through the air tonight so
when
far.
He's had time to throw.
When he's had time, yeah.
This time the Ruffers will put Thompson, Bell, and Payne. Sounds like an illegal firm, doesn't it? Wide to the right. Zapata to the short side boundary. Blitz comes off the side, throw the slant over the top. Oh, Zapata had it in his hands, but could not hold on. A quick release by Walker Newton, and the pass on the slant route intended to the Ruffers senior bounces off those pink receiver gloves, incomplete. Otherwise, that's 6 points.
Pass a little high, but that's one that Zapata will kick himself for not hauling in.
2:21 as the clock stops on the incomplete forward pass. Zapata this time will go wide to the right in a single receiver set. They'll hand it off inside, trying to bounce outside. This is Batiste trying to elude the linebacking core. Going to get down close to the first down marker.
I think he's got it.
He's very, very close. It had to go inside the 12 and may have gotten just to what we'll have to call the 11-yard line, Nick. He needed 3. He got 4. And he got a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Muskogee Ruffer. First down and 10. 2:13 to play here in the opening quarter. Ruffers 1st and 10 at the Bruin 11-yard line.
Boy, the Ruffers need this one to punch it in and get back in this game, not let the momentum get totally away from them.
Zapata this time will be to the right side along with Payne. Handed off to Batiste, trying to find a crease inside the 10, and lunging forward, falling down to around the 5-yard line, just straight up the middle. 6 yards on the run by Batiste, Brandon Batiste, a senior, 5'8", 140-pounder.
Quick hitter up the middle, and almost a no huddle, and nothing there this time.
Ruffers trying to catch the Bruins doing that little last-second adjustment. Got about a yard on the carry for Batiste. Now it'll be 3rd down and a long 2, and we got a timeout on the field. 1:29 to play. Bartlesville taking advantage of early opportunities with a 14-0 advantage over the Muskogee Ruffers. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Minute 29 left to go here in quarter number 1. Bartlesville with a 7-0 advantage. The big defensive lineman, Curtis Fodder, was the injured player for the Bruins. He's able to get up and walk off the field under his own power, so that's good to see. But it'll be 3rd down and a lengthy 2 yards needed. Football resting just upfield from the parallel stripe at the 3-yard line in the center of the field.
Offensive line has managed to dominate these last couple of plays so far and get some yardage.
Gibbons back in now as the running back. Newton will take it. He'll just keep it, look for a crease, runs off the outside shoulder of Isaiah Gibbons and gets down to near the 2-yard line.
Be close to the first
Needed
down.
three, Nick, to get to the 1, so he only got 2. And now the Ruffers have a 4th and 1 here. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Newton takes the snap straight ahead, has a crease, scampers into the end zone, touchdown. Muskogee Ruffers go 62 yards on the possession. Walker Newton on the 2-yard scamper. Ruffers have a touchdown on the scoreboard. James Hodge Ford, Muskogee Ruffer, first touchdown. Muskogee, their first of the night.
Well, they sure needed that. Get things back in the momentum column going their way now and get back to within 7 if we convert the extra point.
Now on to try the PAT is the young sophomore. For the Ruffers is
Stewart.
Carter Stewart. He hammers it right down the gut. Golf return place kicker on that situation. It's perfect, and the Ruffers have got the gap in half. 14-7. 46 seconds remain in the opening quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2020.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Back at Indian Bowl, just under a minute left to play here in the opening quarter. Ruffers go 62 yards. Nick got a little bit of a help from a personal foul penalty to keep the drive going and an incomplete interception. But then when the ball was at the 11, the Ruffers found the distance, and Walker Newton scampers in on the 2-yard keeper for the touchdown, and that is his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, the Ruffers got a kind of a double-pronged help there with the pass being called no interception and then the penalty.
So now the Ruffers will kick off. It's a high kick. It'll be fielded by the Bruins around the 13. Got a lane up the middle, across the 25, out across the 30, and up to about the 32-yard line on the return for the Bruins. And again, it is the ever-working Dylan McCoy kick return out to the 32-yard line. So now with the lead cut in half, 41 seconds remain, Bruins will start for their third offensive series.
Well, the defense now has to rise to the occasion as the Bruins are 2 for 2 possessions and touchdowns, although one of them was kind of a short field situation, but they have converted. Both times have had the ball.
Time now for the Ruffers to come up with their own takeaway. Paxton Bradford takes the snap, going to a little quarterback draw up the middle, has a blocker out in front, 40, 45, trying to get to the boundary, and then finally is ushered out of bounds across the waist. Ruffers had Aiden Kemp with a little shove from behind to get him out of bounds, but not before Bradford is able to pick up 15 yards on the scamper upfield to the 47-yard line, where it'll again be 1st and 10.
Showed pretty good speed. I was a little surprised. We didn't know he had much speed, but he showed pretty good there.
So now Bradford this time will wait. He'll hand it off to McCoy, and this time the Ruffers did what they had to do and got penetration up the field. Getting into the back, Brendan Wilson. Check that correction, the number, Devin Woodfield. Nice stop on the play, dropping McCoy for a 1-yard loss to bring up a 2nd down and now 11 yards to go.
That'll probably be the last play.
5 seconds of the first quarter, and I think time will expire. And the Bruins, no, they won't get it off. After 12 minutes tonight in the Indian Bowl, there's been some high points for both teams, and the Bruins have a 7-0 lead over the Ruffers here on senior night. 14-7. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee brings mobile digital imaging to you anytime, anywhere. JTK Imaging Services offers parents-to-be excitement and comfort of 3D and 4D ultrasound with ultrasound as low as $100. Services at JTK Imaging Services also include mobile digital ultrasound and x-ray anytime you need them. Discover the difference online at jtkimagingservices.com. JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee at 1631 North Main.
Welcome back, D&D Bowl. Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton on this Friday night, watching in Ruffer TV, listening on Okie Country 101.7. 2nd and 11 for the Bruins. Bradford going to throw underneath, and Ruffers that time had it well diagnosed as Givens was right there on top of the intended receiver, Braden Winters. Pass from Bradford was a little bit wide too, Nick, and it brings up the first 3rd down and long situation for Bartlesville.
Other scores in 6A2 tonight. Booker T. Washington on top of Sand Springs, 21-0 in the second quarter. Bixby ahead of Choctaw 7-0. Putnam City West and Ponca City didn't play, I don't believe.
Bradford this time going to play action again. We're going to look to air it out downfield, add a receiver who was being defended over here on the near side. Jaden Bell was matched up against the Bartlesville wide receiver, Caden Davis. Coming straight up the middle, Ruffers had a little bit of heat in the face of the Bruins quarterback, and he throws the pass too long, and it's 4th down and 11.
So now the Ruffers will get the ball back as McCoy will go back to be the punter for the Bruins.
Jaden Bell will be back deep in return formation for Muskogee. Ruffers tonight here at home. Next week, of course, is fall break week, a short week for the traditional classrooms. Actually, there will be no traditional classrooms as Muskogee will be all virtual education next week and then playing. Ooh, he's down. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Low snap, and the punter, Dylan McCoy, took it on a knee and is marked down at the 34. I hate to show my true allegiance to the Ruffers, but he was down. He was down. Indeed, he was. The official heard me, and he blew his whistle. And the Ruffers will get a big break here because they'll start at the Bruin 34-yard line.
So that basically is a turnover, you got to say, for Bartlesville.
It's a loss of 12 yards on the play.
And the Ruffers will set it up at the 34 where his knee touched.
So now you have your first break of the opportunity. It's time to strike and strike quickly. Ruffers with 11:49 to play here in the first half. Trailing by 7, 14-7. Scoreboard update brought to you by James Hodge Ford. Walker Newton this time with the running back to his left. Sets up in the pocket, waits, wants to go deep. Zapata's out there. It hangs a little bit. And able to come from behind and knock the ball away was Nick Folks.
Folks with good speed. Boy, he caught up to that play quickly as Zapata was wide open. But as you said, the ball hung a little bit. Folks was able to get back there and leap and get a hand on it and knock it away.
Well, Ruffers went for the throat there, Nick, and Zapata was out there. But as you said, the ball kind of hung in the air, and that allowed the defensive back able to knock it down. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 34. Bell and Payne are to the right side. Counter, handed off in traffic, and there is just no place to go for Brandon Batiste. He is wrapped up and body slammed by the defensive front of the Bruins.
No gain on the play, so 3rd down for the Ruffers and 10 now.
Clock running here in quarter number 2. Bartlesville scored on the first play from scrimmage and then took advantage of a fumble recovery in Ruffer territory to go up 14-0 before the Ruffers just moments ago went 68 yards for the touchdown by Walker Newton. 3rd down and 10. Newton in the pocket, play action, rolls to his right, throws upfield, catch made by Jaden Bell. Bell around the 24-yard line, knew exactly where he had to go. He steps on the sideline boundary, and they'll mark it inside the 24-yard line. That's good enough for a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Ruffer, 1st down and 10.
Boy, right on the sticks for 10 yards. Gives Newton now 66 yards through the air tonight.
Good grasp of the football that time by Bell. Of course, that name very well documented in Ruffer football history. Take you back to the 86 championship series. A young man by the name of Glenn Bell was virtually unstoppable. 1st and 10 for the Ruffers at the Bruin 24-yard line. Batiste on a little counter draw downfield to about the 23, and then the blue wave comes crashing in. And forces Batiste to a quick stop at about the 23-yard line. So give him a gain of 1. 10:48 in the clock running here in quarter number 2. 14-7.
Thompson checks back in. He's been the go-to receiver so far tonight for the Roughers.
3 wide receivers, Thompson, Bell, and Payne. That legal firm will go wide to the left. Zapata, the lone receiver, to the right side, boundary short side. Newton, little play action, in some trouble, wrapped up, and the block was missed up front. And the guy that needs to turn around and tell Walker Newton, excuse me, Big Wendell Johnson missed his man, and the linebacker on a blitz gets into the face of the Rougher quarterback, and Muskogee will lose 7 on the play.
Braden Winters coming in from that middle linebacker spot untouched, and he was right there as Newton turned his shoulders to throw, and all he saw was that big white jersey.
Yeah, and you had to know Walker Newton says, uh-oh. 9:50 to play here in quarter number 2. Roughers on a now 3rd, and we'll call it 16. It's time with trips to the boundary right side, back in the pocket. Newton airs it out, looking for TK. He's kind of impeded on his effort to get to the football, but the ball was overthrown, incomplete.
Rafe Watkins throws his hands in the air in agreement with you that there was impeding, but it doesn't do any good. Unlike when you yell at the official. When Rafe yells at the official, it doesn't do any good. So.
Well, sometimes that's better for Rafe, too. All right, so it'll be 4th down and a long 15, closer to 16 here. 9:39 to play before halftime, and Rafe says, let's talk about it. We'll do the same. 14-7, Bruins of Bartlesville in front of the Roughers. We're back in 30 seconds on Muskogee Football 2020. Tradition, it's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence. Back at Indian Bowl, 9:39 to play here in quarter number 2. Roughers having cut a 14-0 deficit in half and then get a big break as Bartlesville on a 4th down punting situation has a low snap and go to a knee to pick it up, and the Roughers got it at the 34-yard line. Now they'll face a 4th down and 16, needing to go to the 14-yard line. Roughers with a late substitution is getting out there. K.D. Freeman, he'll be lined up as that blocking back. Newton will take the snap, set up in the pocket. Blitz comes up the middle. Now Newton steps outside, trying to find a crease, but again cannot outrun the effort of the Bruins linebacking core.
Max Munoz, the defensive end, actually runs him down. He'll gain only a yard from the 30 to the 29, and the Roughers, after that golden opportunity, end up turning it over on down.
Bartlesville will start from its own 29-yard line. Roughers tonight here at home. Next Thursday on the fall break week will make the drive over to the OKC metro area. They'll take on the Choctaw Yellow Jackets, who tonight have a big game for them against the Bixby Spartans. Paxton Bradford at quarterback for Bartlesville. Slaps his hands, runs that little counterplay, gives it to McCoy. Started one step to his left and still on his feet, just not going down. Being stood up and finally stopped at the 31, as it appears. And it'll be a 2-yard pickup for Paxton Bradford, but credit the effort that time with the Rougher defensive group, Hunter Hess in the middle of that mess out on the field.
Now the Rougher defensive line kind of held their own there and didn't let McCoy dart through like he has 2 or 3 times.
2 wide receivers this time to the wide side left for Bradford. Second snap of the hands. Now he'll step up and they'll adjust the play call. Play clock down to 8, now down to 7. Bradford will step back. They'll make a quick shift, and then everybody flips over to the other side and didn't get it away. And that's going to be a delay of game penalty against Bartlesville or a timeout.
Looks like they may have.
They're going to credit the timeout to the sideline, and that'll be 2nd down and 9 for Bartlesville following a quick 30-second timeout. 14-7 the visitors From Washington County, Bartlesville leading Muskogee 14-7. We're back in 30 seconds on Rep for Football 2020.
I'm Gil McLaughlin.
I'm Brian Kirkhart.
Thanks, Muskogee. Your hometown mortgage team, Muskogee Mortgage, the McLaughlin team, is proud to be Muskogee's preferred mortgage company.
We are extremely honored to serve you. Just like the Ruffers have a game plan for victory, our daily game plan is to assist families to reach their financial goals.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Ruffers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com. Timeout taken by Bartlesville to avoid a delay of game penalty as play resumes. It'll be 2nd down and 8 from the 31. Bradford with the running back to his left. Hands it off on the jet sweep, coming near side, trying to get around the corner to McCourty, 40, 45 with a blocker in front. Finally going to be pushed out of bounds. Able to get over and usher McCoy out of bounds is Aiden Kemp, but it's a big run. This one of 24 yards on the part of the Bartlesville Bruins from the 31 on Bruins into the field, all the way across the midfield stripe to the 45 in Muskogee territory. 8:35. The clock stops while they set the chains.
Gives McCoy an even 100 yards rushing now tonight.
Of course, he got 67 of those on that first cross-country gallop. Paxton Bradford, again with motion across the formation. They'll counter it. Hand it off to the big fullback, darting right, cutting up the middle of the field and inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. Braden Winters was the ball carrier that time for Bartlesville.
Down to the 33. 12 yards gained on the play.
So another 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Ruffers just trying to hold court in the middle of the field. Now they'll come back with that little jet sweep to the right side. Actually, Bradford's going to pull it out at the last minute to keep it. Ruffers able to finally get some kind of contact on him, as one of the first guys to make an effort to make the stop was LaShawn Mans, the nose guard. But the quarterback keeper goes downfield from the 33 to the 27, as they'll mark it. 2nd down and now 4 yards to go. Bruins on the move, having started this drive at their own 29-yard line. Bradford again going to be in motion. Running backs run into each other, able to keep the football and still find a lane to run in, and there's a penalty flag on the play as well. It was Caden Davis on the carry. He ran into the fullback, but then with his quickness was able to get out on the edge. Let's see what our official will tell us. Referee looking around to make sure he's got the right call.
We have hold on the play. There'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 2nd down.
You know, I feel like I'm in the over 70s Sunday school class, Nick, at church on Sunday morning listening to our referee here tonight. But the penalty will back it up all the way out to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 17 for the Bruins, and the Ruffers trying to guess it on a blitz. And racing into no man's land, that time was Juicy. Ronald Warren was ready to go, but forgot to wait on the snap of the football, and a plus 5-yard gift to Bartlesville.
So that'll move it back down to the 35, and still 2nd down, but 2nd a little more manageable now, and 12.
7:35 and the clock stopped here midway through the 2nd quarter of action. Bartlesville leading Muskogee 14-7. Ruffers trying to avoid an 0-5 start. Paxton Bradford claps his hands, rolls to his right, looks to run or throw, dances inside out, sees a crease, 30, 25, hurdles one tackler and goes all the way down to the 21-yard line.
Give a lot of credit to Winters, the big blocking back out there, cut down one of the Ruffer linebackers on the corner and enabled Bradford to get outside.
So the carry will go all the way to the 22-yard line. 13 yards on the gallop, and Bruins will have yet another 1st and 10. 3rd in this series that started back at the 29-yard line 4 plays ago in between a couple of yellow flags.
And, of course, clock running down all this time, too, in the half.
Winters in at the running back. They bring jet sweep motion. Quarterback Bradford going to keep it. He'll dance inside out and lumber his way down to about the 15-yard line. Isaiah Gibbons was finally able to ride the signal color of the Bruins to the turf, but not before he gains 7 on the first down carried to set up a second down and 3.
Bradford 4 carries for 41 yards so far this evening.
Rougher defense, young, inexperienced, trying to learn under fire. Bradford again will bring motion, play action, give it off to Winters, sidesteps the first would-be tackler, and backpedals his way upfield. Looks
like he'll have the first down on the play.
Yep.
Down to the 10.
Ruffers thought there could have been a loose ball in that situation, but officials apparently blew it dead. It'll be blown dead at the 9. So it'll go all in all as a 6-yard pickup, and it'll be first and goal to go, Bartlesville. Moving from right to left on your screen if you're watching on live stream coverage of Rougher football. Now Bradford will step up and stare to the sideline, await the flash of the signals. This time Winters will line up to his left side. They'll give it to the big full. No, actually, it's going to be Bradford. Keep it, trying to run to the corner. Can the Ruffers get out there and stop it? They'll do so. But Bradford with a nice play execution and finally able to get out to the edge is Keandre Johns.
He's a little slow and gimpy getting up, but now he's up. It's at almost the 6, so gets a 3-yard gain on the play, let's say.
See where they lay the ball on the turf, right at the 6-yard line, but Ruffers use just enough quickness to get out there and force Bradford to the boundary. So now second and goal to go from the 6. Blocking back, shifts over to the left side. Bradford going to hand it off to McCoy, slams straight ahead, and there is nothing but green jerseys waiting. Ruffers that time had a crowd of defenders on the spot. Devin Whitfield, one of those guys, along with Mans in the middle. Gain of a yard. Third and goal to go from the 5.
No, on defense. This is the time we got to stop them here.
Chance for the young pups to get a big play here and force Bartlesville to make a choice to go for 6 or a potential field goal. Bradford snaps his hands. Down the line on the RPO. Hands it off to McCoy. Cuts inside. Down from the 5 to about the 2, maybe 3, maybe the 2-yard line, depending upon the placement. But again, it'll be decision time for Jason Sport.
And it looks like they're going to kick it.
That would mean McCoy would step back to try what would be virtually almost like a PAT chip shot. T will be placed at the 9, so this would be a 19-yard field goal for McCoy. Ball would be placed in the center of the field on the snap. The ball's back in good shape. Ruffers come off the edge, but can't get there quick enough, and the three-pointer is up and good. 19-yard field goal pushes the score to a 10-point Bartlesville lead. Bruins 17, Muskogee 7. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Rougher Football 2020.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Rougher Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
5:14 left to go in quarter number 2. 69-yard drive that stalls at the 2. The resulting 19-yard field goal by Dylan McCoy. And the Bruins have extended their advantage over the Ruffers 17-7.
So the Ruffers at least thwart the touchdown, but they're still now down by 10. Still time, though, to do something with it here in the rest of this first half. Get the offense, maybe a couple of big plays, moving on down the field.
The Bruins will prepare to kick off. This time, if you're watching it on our live stream broadcast, great views of the action produced by the Rougher TV crew. McCoy to approach it. Again, stubs the toe. A little short bounce. It's loose out on the edge and out of bounds.
I think that, though, the Ruffers knocked it out, though.
So Muskogee will get the football, Nick, but, man, that bouncing ball loose on the field just
scares you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Ruffers will get 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line with 5:13 to play. Ruffer football this season, again, brought to you in part by Runt's Barbecue, which is the host site for our weekly coaches show each and every Tuesday night from 6:30 to 7. Watch it on Ruffer TV or listen on our radio partner, Okie Country, 101.7.
Other scores, Hilldale leading Stillwell 21-6 in the local area.
5:13 to go before halftime. Newton this time going to hand it off. Coming to the near side, running straight ahead off the line of scrimmage, still on his feet, fighting for extra yardage, and then had the ball stripped out of his hands. Bruins ripped the ball finally out of the Ruffer running back's hands and able to take it down to the 17-yard line. On the carry was Brandon Talbert. He was churning and burning for extra yardage, and the Bruins ripped the ball out of his hands and take it all the way back to the 17-yard line. Second time the rip and strip type defensive effort of the Bruins has resulted in a turnover.
Wow. Pick that with the two big last week against Sand Springs, and that's a lot of ball carriers not hanging on to the ball well.
So that will give Bartlesville back the football at the Muskogee 17-yard line. 5 minutes to play here in the opening 20 minutes. Don't take anything away from Tolbert, who was trying to get extra yardage, but sometimes you just have to lock it up. Little counter move, hand it off to McCoy, bounces off one tackler in the backfield. Ruffers here should get a penalty, and they will.
All the flags. Everyone threw a flag on that. I threw a flag on that.
Yeah.
Steve Braun threw a flag on that one.
That's pretty easy to see from up here, even without my glasses. Ronald Warren, then got a big handful of the face mask. That's going to be the call. The game will go downfield to the 17, which was the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I got to turn your mic
We
on, right?
have a personal foul, face mask. It will be half the distance to the goal.
And it'll be 1st down and goal to go, Mr. Referee.
So it'll move the ball down around the
It's been a long time since he's been in math class.
8 or 9 yard line when it's all said and done. And a 1st down for the Bruins.
It should take it to about the 8-yard line, Nick, all in all, when it's finally spotted ready for play. 4 minutes, 56 seconds left to go. Here before halftime, Ruffers have been their own worst enemy. Bruins will start 1st and goal to go from the 8. Paxton Bradford, counter, gives it off inside. McCoy with a big crease and had nobody in front of him to slow him down, and he rumbles into the end zone for the touchdown. 8-yard run by Dylan McCoy, his 2nd rushing touchdown tonight to go along with a PAT, and the Bruins have exported a 23-7 advantage with the point after touchdown to follow.
The turnovers have been killer tonight. Bartlesville turns 2 into touchdowns now, 2 fumbles.
8-yard TD scamper. And now he'll step back to the 10 and back up a couple of steps. He snapped down, the kick's on the way, and a line drive kick that is just across the upright crossbar. Timeout on the field, 4:51 to play here in the first half. Bartlesville 24, Muskogee 7, back in 30 seconds on Ruffer Football 2020.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton with you on this Friday night, game number 5 of the 2020 campaign. Here at Indian Bowl, Bartlesville taking advantage of gift-wrapped packages.
Takes them just 23 seconds to score 10 points on the field goal and then getting the run by McCoy after the turnover.
McCoy's been the hero of the night for the Bartlesville Bruins, he along with Braden Winters. Winters going both ways, but boy, he's a playmaker. Good reason why you know he's been an impact player for the Bruins football program the last 3 seasons as a starter at linebacker. So McCoy will put it on the tee, see which rougher will come up and try to catch this pooch kick. Little stutter step kick. Takes a bounce through the hands of the roughers, TK Thompson, and he gets splashed.
TK fumbled the ball, turned around and pick it up, and coming from behind, one of the Bruins just plowed right over him.
So the roughers will start from their 25-yard line with 4:48 to play. Got a lot of activities going on around the weekend, not only tonight's game here, the big game down south of the Red River in Big D on Saturday. If you're looking for a little refreshments, why not make your place my place? My Place barbecue ribs are really, really good. Pick them up and enjoy the weekend with My Place Barbecue, a friend of the Roughers. Now Walker Newton back in the pocket, sets up, throws the underneath route. Bell with the catch, wants to turn and go upfield, and had his feet slide out from underneath him. In coverage for the Bruins was Adam Davidson, but the pass play will result about 6 yards on the completion to Jaden Bell. That for Bell would be only his 3rd reception of the season.
Second tonight that he's got
Make
for
it 4
16 yards. Yeah.
Bell and Payne will be paired up wide to the left. Zapata down to the boundary, short side right. Newton takes it, hands it off to Batiste, trying to come to the right side, and wiggles his way upfield to the 34-yard line, stands up and holds the ball high in the air, Nick, as if to say, I held on to it.
He got hammered pretty good, actually.
Yeah, he did.
Got pushed forward a couple of yards.
From the 31 out to the 34.
3rd down and 1.
Roughers are about a yard short of being able to move the chains. 3:48 in the clock running here in quarter number 2. Walker Newton takes the snap, hands it off, gives it off to Batiste. He'll just go straight ahead off the left side and will be out to the 37-yard line. That'll be good enough for a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Rougher, 1st down and 10. Not sure who gets more excited, me or the guy on the PA microphone.
That is.
Wonder where he learned that.
1, 2, 3. That's like the 5th or 6th time you've gotten to say that tonight. So.
37-yard line for the Roughers. Clock running with 3:24 to go. Newton in the pocket under some duress. Now going to set up and throw this wounded duck. Zapata tried to put on the brakes and come back for it, but Newton got hit on the release. That ball fluttered aimlessly, and
fortunately no one was around to pick it off.
Yeah, there was good coverage downfield from the defensive back, Nick Folks. Incomplete pass. Stops the clock with 3:17 to go in the opening 2 quarters of action. Payne, Thompson, and Bell will go a trio of receivers wide to the left. Zapata by himself off the right side. Newton going to roll to his left, trying to get around the corner. Winter says, no, you don't. Oh, that's not a good choice there.
Grounding.
That's going to get the Roughers an intentional grounding call.
And again, didn't get the block out there on Winters, and he came pretty much unimpeded, and Newton just unable to outrun him.
Got to get it past the line of scrimmage, even if you're outside the box. And there comes the laundry. Pretty easy, Nick, to define that foul.
And that's one of those, it's, again, you got to remember these guys don't have a lot of experience that the Roughers have at quarterback right now, and those one of those things you learn.
We have intentional grounding, no receiver anywhere in the area. That will be 5 yards and loss of down from the spot of the throw, 3rd down.
So with the 5 yards lost from the spot of the foul, it goes back to the 22-yard line. And it is loss of down, so it'll be 3rd down and a country mile for the Roughers. 3rd and what should be about 25 needed. Have to go all the way to the 47. Ball resting at the 22. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to go here in the first half of this nightmarish senior night for Muskogee.
Officials converging there to discuss something. So double whammy there as Newton loses 10 on the scramble and then another 5 on the grounding penalty. Now they're going to move the ball back upfield a little bit.
I have been informed that number 3 was in the area.
Oh, really?
No penalty.
Oh, okay. You fooled me. I sure didn't see that there.
Okay, sir. Well, thank you for that one.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. All right.
So Jaden Bell ruled to be inside, and just looking over at Jason Sport, he's saying, Mr. Official, would you put on your bifocals and go get a video review of that one?
So that moves.
I don't think there's anybody that will question my loyalty to the Ruffers, Nick, but that time the guys wearing the stripes got it wrong.
So that moves it back to the 37.
Well, they've talked again. Let's see what they're going to do here.
This is my timeout.
Why?
Well, and he's going to go talk with his officiating partner. While we do that, let us tell you again, the Ruffer football this season brought to you in part by Pioneer Abstract, Northeast Oklahoma Health Systems, by Suddenlink, as well as JTK Imaging Services and Cornerstone Funeral Home.
The referee, William Shepard, over now talking to Jason Sport. Jason saying, really? There was someone over there by that pass?
Yeah, it was me. It wasn't number 3. It was me.
That's right.
But, I had a good conversation with Rafe Watkins earlier today, and we were discussing just the mental challenges of this entire football season. The obvious distractions from the COVID situation, the no school from March the 12th all the way up until the beginning of fall classes, and you had no spring football, you had limited summer practice opportunities, and really a controlled fall camp as well. And Nick, I just told him, I said, I think what we've seen with the multitude of injuries that we've seen, not just with the Ruffers, but many other teams across the state, could in partly be responsible, I'll say in a minute, from...
I know what you're trying to say.
From the lack of preparation time. Yeah, whether it's mental, physical, conditioning, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And I think we've seen some of the carryover effect to the play on the field.
They did some conditioning during Summer Pride a little bit, but other than that, yeah, I think that's a very good point. I think just a lack of physical conditioning with practice time being so short really has caused some of these injuries, I think.
Well, we've gone to the chambers. Jason Sport said, I want to go to the chambers and talk about this, Mr. Official, Mr. Judge.
Well,
now the white hat and his partner are going to come over and talk to another one of the guys wearing the stripes here tonight. And if they change his back, which I don't think they will.
No, they put it down to the 36.
It'll be at the 36-yard line. So all in all, actually, Ruffers
gained about a yard. Actually, you're right.
Yeah, well, actually lost a yard.
Yeah,
Line of scrimmage had been the 37. Back in the pocket, Newton sets up, throws a deep ball downfield. Bell trying to run under it. He had double coverage by the Bruins, as back deep was Devin Beck along with Adam Davidson. Bell couldn't get to the football on the incomplete forward pass. It'll be 4th down.
Well, unfortunately, that stops the clock, though, and we'll give Bartlesville some extra time now. 3:06 left to play here in the half.
It is good tonight to see Caleb Webb, who had knee surgery earlier this week, on the sideline here on senior night. Also, Taryn Miles, another young man who had an injury a couple of weeks ago, who was lost for the season, out here in support of the Ruffers. Good snap. Zapata's going to keep it. It's going to be a fake. Antonio, 40, 45, has the first down, 50, and scampers out of bounds. Antonio Zapata took it, and like a speeding rocket, explodes upfield across the 50-yard line all the way to the 46 on the opposite end. 13 plus 4, 17 yards on the fake punt run by Antonio Zapata. Jay Hodge, Chevrolet Cadillac, Muskogee Ruffer, first down and 10.
It's the longest play from scrimmage tonight for the Ruffers as far as the running game is concerned.
Well, Bartlesville had no idea that one was coming with 2:58 now to play here in the first half. Ruffers now would like to be able to capitalize on that gamble by Watkins and his offensive brain trust. Newton will take the snap. Good protection. Wait. Throw the slant across the middle. Short-armed it. Intended it for Raheem Payne. Incomplete forward pass. Coverage that time by the Bruins. Adam Davidson in the path. Clock will stop with 2 minutes and 54 seconds left to go. We talked about next week being fall break week, Nick, and typically it's 3 days, and then you're out on Thursday and Friday, and that'll be the case. But students in the Muskogee Public School District will be all virtual learning Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Keep in mind, we were supposed to play Putnam City West on Monday, but that game very much now in doubt, or on Monday, yeah.
So on the counter, Batiste, Newton's going to, at the last minute, pull it out, and
neither one of them did very well on that one.
Well, neither one of them were going very far because the guy that was in the path was one of the big defensive linemen, Maddox Perrier, and he wraps up Newton for a yard loss back upfield to the 47-yard line.
Batiste was even farther back upfield. Had he been the ball carrier, they had him sacked up too.
So it'll be 3rd down and 11 with 2:25 in the clock running, and I can go ahead and tell you what I do know, Nick. That previously scheduled Monday night game against Putnam City West has now been pushed back to what will be Tuesday, October the 27th. Newton back in the pocket. Blitz comes straight up the middle. Throw the deep ball. Looking for Bell. He's out there and at the last minute had the ball stripped out of his hands.
Again, the ball just a little high, floated just a little bit, and that gave the defensive back just enough time to get back there and get in Bell's face and knock it away.
Actually, I think it might have been Raheem Payne that was the intended target. But nevertheless, the pass incomplete stops the clock. And the Ruffers will be facing a 4th down and 11.
Devin Beck was the defender on the play for Bartlesville.
A couple of times tonight, Nick. The defensive secondary of the Bruins has been able to strip what appeared to be a sure reception into an incompletion. Good snap for Zapata this time. 1 step and a line drive boot. It'll bound it around the 10. The Bruins will watch it, and can the Muskogee save it? No, they cannot. Goes into the end zone on the touchback. It'll come out to the 20. Now there's a penalty flag up the field, and I think Muskogee here may get.
Somebody on the sideline said something they weren't supposed to, I think.
One of the Ruffers getting into a little confrontation with a Bartlesville Bruin. We'll leave the names.
Side judge throws the flag as the ball bounded into the end zone.
So what would have been the 20, see whether they'll mark it from the spot of the penalty or because it's a dead ball foul, it should just be a 15-yard ball.
I think it was a dead ball. I think the ball had already gone into the end zone.
We have offsetting.
Ouch, that hurts my ears.
Yeah, it does. Hurt.
Dead ball, personal foul.
All right, a little feedback on the PA system with the wireless microphone, but fortunately for the Muskogee, it is ruled to be offsetting personal fouls. And I really kind of admire our officiating crew for taking that approach. And I didn't see it happen, but too many times the instigator gets away with it and the retaliator gets 15-yard penalty.
Right.
That didn't happen in this case, fortunately for the Ruffers, and the Bruins will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line now with 1:59 to play here before halftime and leading 24-7. Paxton Bradford has engineered a solid offensive performance by the Bruins. Going to keep the RPO, keep it breaking to open field, 30, 35, 40. Bradford up across midfield and run straight out of bounds. Just a good RPO read that time by the quarterback, Paxton Bradford, and he'll step on the boundary right at the 50-yard line. So a 30-yard scamper for Bradford. And the Bruins, I think now, get a little bit more of a hurry up here, Nick.
Brendan Wilson on the defense was the man who forced him out.
So Bradford this time with McCoy to his left side. Going to again pull it, keep it, got a block, and as he comes upfield, his feet slide out from underneath his path. And he's able to get downfield to the 47-yard line to pick up a 3. Minute 34 to go before halftime here on this senior night 2020. Most of the members of the 2020 Ruffer TV crew honored here tonight. Couple could not be here. And play action. Again, the quarterback Bradford going to keep it on the RPO. And he'll rumble forward downfield to about the 43-yard line for a 4-yard gain.
Bradford does a good job on that RPO, reading and deciding whether to put the ball in the fullback's stomach or keep it himself, and he's guessed right just most of the time so far.
So now 3rd and 3rd and 3 actually. McCoy will come in motion. Play action series. You throw the deep ball, receivers right out there. Davis with an easy catch, running past the defender and into the end zone. Touchdown. 43-yard touchdown strike. Paxton Bradford to Caden Davis. And the Bruins turn a 2-minute drill into 7 points on the touchdown toss of 43 yards.
Well, that one hurts, too. Keep in mind the Bruins will get the football, too, to start the third quarter, so big momentum swing here.
And now the ever-present Dylan McCoy will step back to try to knock in another extra point. Good snap. Ruppers get in there but can't deny the PAT try. There's a timeout on the field. 44 seconds remain here on this senior night 2020. It's been all blue and white. Powder blue success. Bartlesville 31, Muskogee Ruffers 7. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
New Silverados up to 15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
The home of oil and gas industry through roustabout well pumping services along with
Bill Huddleston, Nick Hampton back with you on this Friday night from Indian Bowl. It's been more like trick-or-treat Halloween, Nick. And the Bruins have been getting all the prizes. They've capitalized on every opportunity and lead it by a score of 31-7.
Fort Gibson over McLean 19-0, 56-0. Wagner over Catoosa in the second quarter.
Wow. Wow. McCoy on to, again, pooch kick it. It bounds one time. Ruppers this time will pick it up. Jaden Bell up the field, 30, 35. Little shake and bake move. And he'll be wrestled down from behind and body slammed to the turf at the 43-yard line. Over to make the tackle for the Bruins was Gavin Pullins. But Muskogee will start first and 10 from its 43-yard line here with 37 seconds left to go in what has been an Excedrin headache number 6, or number 5, I guess I should say, for Rafe Watkins.
Well, I think we would just keep it close to the vest and take it into the house at halftime and talk about things.
Walker Newton, the young quarterback who forced into action with the injury to Ty early on, throws the ball across the middle. Caught in traffic by Zapata at the 40, at the 35, 30, down the boundary, 25, 20. Senior night effort for Antonio Zapata. In traffic, able to rip it out of the defender's hands, and then yards after catch all the way down to the 18-yard line. 7 up plus 32. Pour yourself up a 39-yard pass and run. Jay Hodge, Chevrolet Cadillac Ruffer, first down and 10.
What a great effort by Zapata. Not only make the catch, made a nice catch, and then a great run afterwards.
Down to the 18-yard line and got out of bounds, so the clock won't start until the snap of the ball. Newton with Batiste off his left side. In the pocket, blitz comes off the edge. Trying to look for some place to throw it to. Lobs it toward the end zone. Zapata, can he hold on? No, but there's a penalty flag down. Antonio Zapata was the intended receiver, and at the very last minute, Walker Newton throwing it to his senior counterpart. And this, I think, will be a pass interference call on the Bruins.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 of the Bruins.
That's a save to 6 points pass interference.
Unfortunately, unlike most ball, it's not at the point of the interference, which would have put it at like the 2-yard line. So
it'll be half the distance from the previous spot, which was the 18.
We've got defensive pass interference. That is half the distance to the goal. It will be first and short till first down.
First and goal to go. First down, Jay Hodge, Chevrolet Cadillac on the pass interference.
Ruffers are going to have to hustle, though. Just 18 seconds left in the first half.
Clock will not start until the snap of the football. Trying to steal one out to end the first half. Payne and Bell go wide to the left side. Zapata by himself to the boundary short right. Newton, this time going to give it to Batiste. Cuts upfield, has a crease at the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown! Ruffers Brandon Batiste on a 1st and goal from the line. Starts left, zigs back to his right, and lunges into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown Muskogee, touchdown James Hodge Ford.
Wow, all set up by that 39-yard pass and run from Newton to Zapata for the long gainer.
Now it'll be Carter Stewart to try another PAT. Ball down, kicks up good. And a timeout on the field as the young sophomore knocks it straight between the uprights. 31-14. Bartlesville in front of your Ruffers. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Ruffer Football 2020.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Muskogee Ruffers go 57 yards in 2 plays plus a pass interference penalty. The big one, of course, that set it all up was the 39-yard pass and run effort by Antonio Zapata. And then Brandon Batiste scampers into the end zone to cut the gap after Carter Stewart's PAT is good to 31-14. Now the Ruffers will kick off again. One Bear had the ball go through the hands of the return man and bounce around back around the 7, picked up by the Bruins and able to get upfield to about the 13-yard line with only 4 seconds to remain. So this will be one knee and go to the dressing room, Nick. But the Ruffers get a little bit of energy to end the half.
Yeah, especially after Bartlesville had scored and had all the momentum going their way, as we said. They'll get the ball. So the Ruffers at least put a little stop to that.
So now the Bruins, who are looking for their first district victory and only their second win of the season, will have one play here, and then we'll see what kind of conservative approach or gambling approach Jason Sport opts to do here.
Let's see if he's got some kind of razzle-dazzle he wants to do. It's a pretty tight formation.
Handed off inside. This is McCoy. And he comes out across the 20 to about the 25, and the clock shows triple zeros on the north end Jumbotron. After 2 quarters of play tonight here at Indian Bowl, Bartlesville Bruins 31, your Muskogee Ruffers 14. That's the end of the half. We'll come back for our first half recap in just a moment. But first, we'll pause 3 minutes here on the Ruffer Broadcast Network as we bring you Ruffer football tonight from Indian Bowl. 31-14, Bartlesville over the Ruffers. We're back after this 3-minute timeout. You're watching Ruffer Football 2020.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee, online at hodgeford.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. NissanofMuskogee.com. That's right, NissanofMuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at NissanofMuskogee.com.
Welcome back on Rougher Football 2020 tonight from Indian Bowl in Muskogee, where the Bartlesville Bruins have taken advantage of gift-wrapped opportunities and magnified those into a 31-14 halftime lead. The Roughers took the opening kickoff and had a quick 3-and-out. Following the punt, the Bruins would start 1st and 10 from their 33, and it only took one snap and one exchange from Paxton Bradford to Dylan McCoy, who would bounce outside and go the distance 67 yards. And just over 2 minutes into the first quarter play, the Bruins were on the scoreboard leading 7-0. Roughers would get a first down out to near midfield, but then moments later would add the ball ripped free and a fumble recovery that results in Bartlesville getting the football at the Muskogee 43-yard line. From that point, it took 5 plays before the Bruins got into the end zone on a 10-yard run, and then with an extra point from McCoy, it was 14-0. Roughers take the ensuing kickoff from their 38-yard line, end up going down to the 37 in Bartlesville territory. 3 plays later, have it 1st and goal from the 11, and on the third down carry, it would be quarterback Walker Newton scampering off the left side into the end zone for the 6 points, his first rushing touchdown of the season. That came with 41 seconds left to play in the opening quarter of action. Carter Stewart's PAT was on the money, and it was 14-7 Bartlesville. The Bruins, though, a couple of possessions later, would start from their own 29-yard line and put together a 10-play, 69-yard drive that would result in a 19-yard field goal from Dylan McCoy to make it 17-7. But then the Roughers on the next series turn it over again, giving Bartlesville the football at the 17-yard line. After a face mask penalty, it goes to the 8. And 1 play later, McCoy is in from 8 yards out untouched to make it 24-7. The Roughers got a couple of first downs and actually got a big break because they started deep in Bartlesville territory after a bad punt that was fielded underneath. Roughers then would end up having to give the ball over. Bruins start 1st and 10 from their 20. And 4 plays later, it's a touchdown toss from Paxton Bradford to the speedster Caden Davis. And at that point, it was 31-7. But the Roughers, with less than a minute to go in the first half, use a 39-yard clutch effort from senior wideout Antonio Zapata. His run effort after the catch takes it to the 18-yard line. A pass interference penalty puts the ball at the 9. And from that point on, it was the senior running back Brandon Batiste on a 9-yard scamper. Carter Stewart's putt right in the dead center of the cup on the PAT try. Nice little golf reference there. 31-14 is the halftime score. Bartlesville Bruins leading the Muskogee Roughers. When we come back, Nick Hampton will have a look at the offensive statistics of the opening 2 quarters of play that are heavily in favor of the visitors from Bartlesville. 31-14, Bruins over the Roughers. We're back in 2 minutes on Rougher Football 2020.
JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee brings mobile digital imaging to you anytime, anywhere. JTK Imaging Services offers parents-to-be excitement and comfort of 3D and 4D ultrasound with ultrasound as low as $100. Services at JTK Imaging Services also include mobile digital ultrasound and x-ray anytime you need them. Discover the difference online at jtkimagingservices.com. JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee at 1631 North Main.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
I'm Gil McLaughlin.
I'm Brian Kirkhart.
Thanks, Muskogee. Your hometown mortgage team, Muskogee Mortgage, the McLaughlin team, is proud to be Muskogee's preferred mortgage company.
We are extremely honored to serve you. Just like the Ruffers have a game plan for victory, our daily game plan is to assist families to reach their financial goals.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Ruffers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
Nick Hampton, Bill Huddleston back with you here at Indian Bowl this evening, where it's halftime, and the Bartlesville Bruins leading the Ruffers by a score of 31-14 in this district encounter. Let's take a look at the statistics in this first half. For the Ruffers, they ran 38 plays in the first half, 9 first downs. Only rushed, though, for 29 yards in that first half on 19 attempts. Or no, let's see, 24 attempts. So just about a yard a carry in the rushing department for the Ruffers. 111 yards through the air on 7 of 14 for Walker Newton. So combined total of 140 yards in offense for the Ruffers in the first half. 2 turnovers, both resulting in touchdowns for the Bruins. And the Ruffers were penalized 5 times for 33 yards. Bartlesville ran the ball 26 times, or ran 26 plays, we should say. They also had 9 first downs. They rushed 21 times for 221 yards. McCoy, the big ball carrier for the Bruins, had 11 carries for 116 of those yards. 3 of 5 passing for their quarterback, who's done a fine job tonight in Bradford. Bradford, as we said, has passed 3 of 5 for 56 yards. So Bartlesville, 277 yards in total offense this evening. They have not turned the ball over, and they have been penalized 3 times for 34 yards in the first half. McCoy, as we said, the leading ball carrier for the Bruins, 11 carries for 116 yards. Let's take a look at a few other scores as we'll dial up and look at some 4A scores. Hilldale easily on top of Stillwell by a score of 44-6. Poto besting Salisaw in the third quarter of that game. 20-8 is the score in that one. Wagner having no troubles at halftime, 57-0 over Catoosa. Fort Gibson at halftime blanking McLean by a score of 19-0. And those are some of the 4A scores from around the area. Let's check back and see what the other 6A 2 schools are doing this evening. Last check we had Bixby and Choctaw playing, and that's a fairly close game in the third quarter. Bixby just on top by 7, 14-7 over the Yellow Jackets.
And let's not forget the Jackets are the opponent for the Ruffers this coming Thursday night on the road on this what will be fall break weekend.
Ponca City back on top of Putnam City West, who's playing their first game in a couple of weeks. 14-0 in that game. Booker T all over Sand Springs tonight by a score of 35-0. That surprises me just a little bit. And those are the scores from our district, at least in 6A 1-2.
My good buddy Bobby Klink found a little bit about the damage and the pending results of Speed and the Hornets.
I guess so. Wow.
Absolutely. But right now, here in the first half, the Ruffers have kind of gift-wrapped a go-ahead opportunity to the visitors from Bartlesville, as the Bruins have jumped out to a 31-7 advantage, only to see the Ruffers come back in the closing 37 seconds and get the touchdown to cut the margin to 31-14 here at half on what is Senior Night 2020. We return with more after this 2-minute timeout. You're watching and listening to Ruffer Football 2020.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times, when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
New Silverados up to 15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Back at India Bowl halftime here on Senior Night. For the game, members of the Ruffer football team, along with the Ruffer TV crew, were introduced on this Senior Night celebration here at the half. The members of the Pride of Muskogee, senior members being introduced with their family and friends on what is Senior Night celebration for 2020. Ruffers in action tonight here in district play against the Bartlesville Bruins. Next Thursday night, Ruffers will make another road trip as they will travel to Choctaw. Ruffers have the Murderers Row coming up the next 3 games. Next Thursday night against Choctaw. The following week, Ruffers back at home for actually back-to-back contests against Bixby and Tulsa, Washington, before rounding out the 2020 regular season campaign on the road at Ponca City. Ruffers spotted Bartlesville to a 31-7 advantage, Nick, and truly, I have to really say, most of those 31 points came the result of gift-wrapped opportunities, albeit the first touchdown gallop by Dylan McCoy.
Yeah, fumbles, couple of big fumbles by the Ruffers, both of which resulted in touchdowns by the Bruins. And then they got the field goal in there, and then the long touchdown pass toward the end of the first half by Bradford. So they've earned a couple, but the Ruffers have given them a couple as well.
Well, certainly Ruffers were looking for this game to kind of springboard them into a positive future outlook. Coming into tonight, still searching for win number 1, and the 48 points that were been scored in the first 4 games of the year is the fewest point production since the 2014 campaign. Rafe Watkins' first year here in which the Ruffers tallied only 43 points in their first 4 games of the season. The Bruins, of course, are kind of on the same plateau, having gone 12-27 of the past 4 seasons, with their last playoff appearance coming back in 2015, in which they went to the semifinals with a 10-2 record. And the Bruins last year were 3-7, but more importantly this year 1-4, having lost 4 games in a row, including back-to-back losses to Bixby and to Tulsa, Washington. But right now they've got the Ruffers on the ropes. 31-14 is the halftime advantage for the Bruins. The Muskogee Ruffers trying to find all the answers and put Humpty back together again and find some dramatic come-from-behind results in the final 2 quarters of play. Halftime score, Bartlesville 31, Muskogee Ruffers 14. We're back in 2 minutes. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee, online at hodgeford.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
Back to Indian Bowl. Bill Huddle, Hampton, with you on this Friday night. Ruffers against the Bartlesville Bruins, and at halftime, down on the scoreboard by a 31-14 count. We've said throughout the night that this is senior night celebration for all the different sports groups and organizations involved in the Friday night Fantasia here at Indian Bowl, including the cheer, along with the Ruffer TV crew, members of the Muskogee Ruffer football team, the dance squad, and the band performing here at halftime, and that large contingent of seniors and their family and friends being introduced to those in attendance here this Friday night. But, Nick, we would be remiss if we didn't say a congratulations to a group of kids that have really done an outstanding job as part of the Ruffer TV crew, and many of those seniors, one of those unable to be with us tonight, Kylie Gialetti, Maddie White, Gracie Jameson, Josh Garner, and the newest member of the team, Bree Gialetti. We couldn't do it without you. These kids do a great job of keeping the sights and the sounds coming your way on Ruffer TV as well as on Okie Country 101.7. And I really take a lot of pride in what these young people do. I hope that they're giving themselves an opportunity for a future career, but more importantly, we say a huge thank you for what you've been a part of this broadcast effort the last couple of seasons as a part of Ruffer TV.
Well, and you think they have come along just like the football players have, if you think about it. I remember some of the games a couple of years ago. It was kind of a struggle sometimes getting the live stream going, but over the last couple of years, these folks that you've just mentioned have just really become seamless at doing this, and it's just been wonderful.
Well, it's nice to have the interaction and the relationship with these in their future. We also say a quick get well to a couple of members of the Rougher TV crew, able to get them back with us, Kylie Gialetti and the captain of the Rougher TV Starship Enterprise, Shane Stewart. Halftime score, Bartlesville in front of the Roughers, 31-14. When we return after this timeout, it'll be time to get the second half underway. The Bruins and the Roughers from Indian Bowl on this Friday night will return in 2 minutes. This is Muskogee Rougher Football 2020.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. nissanofmuskogee.com. That's right, nissanofmuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at nissanofmuskogee.com.
JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee brings mobile digital imaging to you anytime, anywhere. JTK Imaging Services offers parents-to-be excitement and comfort of 3D and 4D ultrasound with ultrasound as low as $100. Services at JTK Imaging Services also include mobile digital ultrasound and x-ray anytime you need them. Discover the difference online at jtkimagingservices.com. JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee at 1631 North Main.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Roughers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
I'm Gil McLaughlin.
I'm Brian Kirkhart.
Thanks, Muskogee. Your hometown mortgage team, Muskogee Mortgage, the McLaughlin team, is proud to be Muskogee's preferred mortgage company.
We are extremely honored to serve you. Just like the Roughers have a game plan for victory, our daily game plan is to assist families to reach their financial goals.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Roughers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com. Welcome back to Indian Bowl on this Friday night. Game number 5 for the Roughers in 2020, and the Bruins of Bartlesville holding a 31-14 advantage here in this Friday night district encounter, and really kind of a must-win situation for both teams. And Nick, speaking of must-wins for the Roughers and Bruins, it's a lot the same picture for many other teams who are battling at the midway point here in 2020.
Well, and some close games tonight. Some big key matchups tonight. Class 2A, top-ranked Vian holding just a 6-0 lead over 9th-ranked Cassia Hall. That game at Cassia Hall tonight. 6-0 Vian in the third quarter of that contest. Haskell on the short end at halftime against Victory Christian, 47-6 in that game. Shakota trailing Seminole at halftime, 12-7. Stigler having no problem tonight with Tulsa Webster, 55-0 is the score in that contest this evening.
6A2 back up there, the big showdown matchup between number 1 and number 5, Bixby and Choctaw. Spartans holding a 14-7 third quarter advantage. Ponca City having no problems with the Patriots at home. The Wildcats with a 21-0 advantage, and the Hornets of Tulsa, Washington back at S.E. Williams Stadium building a 35-0 advantage over the Sandites of Sand Springs.
In 6A1 this evening, a little bit of a surprise here to say the least. Top-ranked Owasso tied with Edmond North at halftime.
Wow.
7-7 in that game. Jenks defeated Norman last night by a score of 42-13. Broken Arrow having a little problem with Edmond Memorial tonight in the third quarter, 31-3. The Tigers lead in that game, and Union leading Mustang at halftime, 38-3.
Run around down to Class 5A here before we get the second half kick coming your way as the Roughers will kick off. McAllister jumping out to a 28-6 advantage over Durant tonight down in Durant, Oklahoma. Tahlequah has come from behind. They've got a 24-21 advantage over the Sapulpa Chieftains tonight over at Sapulpa. That's with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter there. And former Rougher defensive coordinator, now head coach of the Shawnee Wolves, Jason Sexton's ball club, trying to pick up a third victory this season, holding a 20-0 lead over Will Rogers. That's at halftime.
Skylar One-Bear tees it up, and the Roughers get ready to kick it off to start the third quarter.
Bruins will be running from our left to right, just as they did in quarter number 1. One-Bear's kick, high end-over-end kick. It's going to be fielded by McCoy at the 13, 20, 25, 30, a lane, 45, 50, one man. One-Bear tries to get in the way and does it just enough to bring McCoy to the turf at the 40-yard line. But I don't know if people got out of their lanes or they were blocked out of their lanes there, Nick, but McCoy had a parting of the green sea, giving a little biblical reference there. He takes it all the way to the 41-yard line in Rougher territory to begin quarter number 3. Bartlesville with possession. First down at 10, they'll lay it on the 40-yard line.
Well, that's not what the Roughers wanted to see, to give Bartlesville a kind of a gift there on the kickoff return and put it in Muskogee territory.
Second time tonight, McCoy's had a big kick return as well. So Bartlesville, with their senior quarterback Paxton Bradford running the controls, blocking back just off the right side and running back to his left. Play action. Bradford keeps it on the quarterback keeper and will be wrapped up downfield around the 39-yard line, able to get in on the stop. Jacob Brennan, along with some help from other teammates, also in on the stop. Tion Brewer. Gain of 2, second down and 8. Bradford again trying to wait on a blocker, and this time the Roughers stuff it up pretty well right at the line of scrimmage. Good effort that time by Muskogee's Tion Brewer, was one of the guys that got in the pathway.
Yard gain. So on 2 plays, they've just moved it about 3 yards. Rougher defense has done a good job. Not much imagination in those plays, however, for the Bruins. Just quick.
Brewer, Nick, a new name to Rougher football. He's just a freshman. Third down and 7 now. Bradford play action, waits in the pocket, throws the ball downfield deep, and a one-handed grab. No, I'm going to say he's out of bounds. And then a
flag comes
somewhat
down. Yeah.
Silly penalty there going to be called against the Rougher defensive back, who might have had a little bit extra to say on the situation. Thinking that might be Rayshawn Ellis across the way, Nick.
Yeah, let's see.
But it's going to be a personal foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Very little doubt here, unless they call it offsetting. They've done that twice tonight. But the body response of the Rougher defensive group out there tells me, nope, this is going on the green.
After the play is over, we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on green.
That's exactly right. 15 yards against the Roughers.
Seneca Collins was the guy that was in coverage across the way.
After they had Bartlesville stopped on third down.
So that'll be a 1st and 10 now for the Bruins. And the ball will be placed at the 23-yard line. Wow, that one really stings, really hurts. Watkins over talking with the side judge here on the near side. And now Rafe has pleaded with the official to come over and at least explain. And the side judge keeps waving his hands, saying, Rafe, you got to move back to the white sideline. Rougher football here in 2020 brought to you in part by Excel Physical Therapy, along with David Cobb, State Farm Insurance, Nissan of Muskogee, Muskogee Mortgage, Lusher Millsap Funeral Services, and JTK Imaging Services.
Right now, Roughers are scheduled to play a game on Monday night against Putnam City West, but that's
told at halftime that has been officially moved to October the 27th.
It's going to be released tomorrow officially, but it's been moved. So that'll make next game for the Roughers next Thursday night, remember, during fall break at Choctaw.
Penalty flag will be on the Roughers for the unsportsmanlike personal foul.
And Rafe didn't get his way again.
Well, no, he didn't. And I haven't seen too many times that the coach on either side wins his argument in situations like that. 1st and 10 for the Bruins. Paxton Bradford with a running back brings motion across the formation. They play action series. Give it off to McCoy coming right around the corner. This is Caden Davis. He'll use his jets and turn it upfield to the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, my goodness. How bad does that penalty hurt?
Man, I guess. You get the unsportsmanlike call, and then on the next play, the end around to Davis, and he takes it 23 yards for the score.
Davis hasn't played much the last 3 weeks, but his athleticism was well noted in the scouting report, expecting him to see some action tonight, and he has certainly made his impact. That's 2 big plays now for Davis. But the penalty after the incomplete pass on 3rd down results in a 1st down, and then the Bruins score moments later. Extra point to follow. The ball's down. The kick is up and good. Timeout on the field. 10:46 to play. Bartlesville expanding its lead, 38-14. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching and listening to Rougher Football 2020.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Rougher Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
Welcome back on Rougher Football 2020. Bartlesville Bruins getting a real gift again from this youthful football team wearing the green and white. Muskogee had apparently forced a 3-and-out after the incomplete pass on 3rd down. But at the very end of that situation, whatever was said by the Rougher defensive back drew a flag, and that resulted in an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which moved it to the 23-yard line. And one play from there, Caden Davis in on the 23-yard scamper. The PAT makes it 38-14. Nick, that just really is like throwing salt into an open wound.
It really is, and it's very similar to kind of the feeling we had at Sand Springs last week after that pooch punt that went awry.
Now McCoy this time will run it, and he'll drive it deep. Bell will field at the 5. Jaden out to the 15, the 20, 25, up the boundary 30, cuts back into the field of play, gets up to about the 37-yard line. So a 32-yard kick return for Jaden Bell.
A little surprised that they went ahead and kicked it to Bell. He almost made him pay on that as he got to the outside, but he's down just about to the point where the Roughers have had the little pooch kicks before.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Muskogee. Batiste will be in as the running back, and Newton at quarterback. Payne along with Bell coming to the near side, wide left. Newton takes the snap. Hands it off to Batiste, coming left, and as he cuts upfield, he's hit at the knees and stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Might have got forward progress up to about the 39.
Well, I thought he was going to cut outside where he had some running room out there. If he'd have cut it a little bit wider, I think he'd had some yardage.
Walker Newton staring over the sideline, shielding his eyes, trying to make sure he gets the right signal call. Now again with Batiste to the left of Newton. Play action, pump once, throw the ball downfield deep. Bell is out there, do a little hand. Incomplete. Boy, there was a lot of hand fighting between Zapata and the defensive back of the Bruins, and Antonio coming off the field, kind of that left shoulder dropped just a little bit. Might have got a stinger, hopefully.
I think he had that ball for just a moment until he hit the ground and it came loose.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down situation, 3rd and 8, and quickly Leo Krajewski over to talk to the senior. Payne and Bell will be the 2 receivers wide left. Newton back in the pocket. Steps up, under pressure, wrapped up, body slam to the ground, back at the 34-yard line. So that'll be a 5-yard loss on 3rd down. And it'll be a punting situation. Now, here's the problem the Roughers have. They don't have the punter under normal circumstances is Antonio Zapata. And he's the player being attended to over on the sideline, which now that'll force Seneca Collins to have to come in. And for the first time this season, he'll have to punt the football. Well, that's a tough situation.
And let's see. Well, yeah. Here comes Gibbons in late. And the play clock runs down.
And Rafe Watkins spins a timeout. Yeah, he did. Timeout on the field, 9:19 to go in this frustrating evening for the guys wearing the green and white. 38-14 is our score. We'll be back in a half-minute, 30-second break on Rougher Football 2020.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Welcome back to Indian Bowl. Ruffers forced to take a timeout, trying to make sure they get the right personnel on the field. Seneca Collins will be on the punt. Leo Kraski going over and talking with the Ruffer staff about the injuries to Antonio Zapata. Collins will wait on the long snap, catches it, puts it up into the night sky, a little short kick. Fair catch signal for, and then the ball bounced, no effort made. And it's going to take a good Muskogee bounce. It'll roll all the way inside the 25 and inside the 20 and down to the 19-yard line.
46-yard punt. Not bad.
Not bad for Seneca Collins on the kick, bounce, and roll. I think you and I are old enough to remember the old PPK, punt, pass, and kick. That was sponsored by Ford. Well, that was a kick, bounce, and roll situation there. I don't remember if in that competition did they spot the ball where it hit the ground, or in the punt part of it did they let it bound and roll and then measure it?
I think they let it roll.
I never was good enough to qualify for that stuff. So anyway, Bruins will have it 1st and 10 for the second time here in quarter number 3. 9:05 to play here in the third quarter. Bartlesville with a commanding 38-14 advantage over the Ruffers. Paxton Bradford. Motion across the formation. Handed off to McCoy, dancing left, and a nice submarining effort that time by the Ruffer defensive back Jaden Bell to spin McCoy end over end. Gain will be from the 19 to the 23, making a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Bruins. We mentioned the Ruffers' next action coming next Thursday night. Bartlesville will go back home to play in front of the hometown fans against Ponca City. Bradford in the pocket, going to throw a little quick out route, try to get it on the edge, giving it over to Caden Davis, dancing around the would-be tackler, but a nice shoestring effort that time by the Ruffer defensive back Seneca Collins. Stopping Davis virtually for about a 2-yard gain. See where they'll mark it upfield at the 25.5, call it the 26. So a 3-yard pickup, and it's now 3rd down and an extended 3 yards to gain. The Bruins can afford to be conservative here, Nick, running the football.
And running the clock.
Absolutely. Little split diamond formation. Bradford on a quarterback keeper. Hit behind the line of scrimmage and stopped. Nice effort that time by the Ruffer defensive player.
Hess, wasn't it?
Hunter Hess, the linebacker, the 5'10", 200-pound junior middle linebacker making the stop. No gain on the play. And the Bruins will face a 4th down and 3 in a punting situation.
Well, that's good. Now let's make sure we field the punt. Don't commit a foul or anything here.
Jaden Bell will be standing back around the 50-yard line as the Bruins continue to try to just deflate the time off the clock. Play clock down to 5, down to 4. McCoy will take the snap with 2 on the clock and launch a missile downfield. Bell just lets it roll. It'll bounce sideways and then roll down the boundary and roll out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 50-yard punt on the part of Dylan McCoy. I would say he has been the player of the game for the Bruins, would you not?
Yeah, definitely.
So now Muskogee, after the 3-and-out stop by the Ruffer defense, will take over for the second time here in the third quarter of action, starting this series from their own 24-yard line. Cornerstone Funeral Home, Bravado Wireless, Runts Barbecue, the host site for the Rougher Coaches Show each and every Tuesday night, along with JTK Imaging Services and Excel Physical Therapy bring you Rougher football this year. Batiste trying to go to his right, turning the corner 25. Stutter steps at about the 28 and got sandwiched and hammered to the turf. 3-yard pickup. Maybe closer to 4 when it's all said and done. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Maybe even close to 5 as they spotted at the 29. So give Batiste 5 on that one.
Bell and Payne are wide to the right. Newton wanted to throw, now turns upfield trying to elude tacklers. Breaks out of one tackle. There should be a horse collar penalty here as Newton had it, and the tackler, which was Winters, trying to grab hold to Walker Newton.
Thought he got him by the jersey, quite frankly.
Yeah, but from behind, you get that hand inside the collar, Nick, and it's going to draw a flag every time. That's just one of those protection-type penalties.
So the run goes from the 29 up to the 35, 36.
Face mask on the defense. The play was a first down, but it'll be 15 yards further down.
Yeah, the run went out all the way to the 36, or 37, excuse me. So that would have been good enough for a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Rougher first down. And then you add the personal foul penalty. We'll move it all the way to the 47-yard line in Bartlesville territory. Newton back in the pocket, sets up, rifles a pass over to Raheem Payne. Little shake and bake move at the 40, and then drag down out on the edge. Making the good defensive coverage was Nick Folks, but Raheem Payne with the yards after catch effort takes it to the 37-yard line. That's a 10-yard pickup, and a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Rougher, first down and 10.
Second catch on the night for Payne for 33 yards.
Payne and Bell are to the right, wide right. Zapata in the pocket. Now Newton in trouble. Sandwich between defenders, and then a heavyweight on one of those flyweight type guys back in the backfield. Maddox Perrier able to wrap up Walker Newton, who had no place to throw the football, and just did the educated thing, Nick, and took the big loss back upfield to the 46.
9 yards on that loss, so that kind of hurts. After you get the nice run and pass play, then you go backwards on the sack.
Bell and Payne to the left, Zapata to the right, play action. Newton coming left, flips it underneath, catch is made. Upfield making the catch out in the flat for the Roughers was K.D. Freeman. Freeman, a sophomore, 185-pounder, taking that right-handed toss from Walker Newton. The game will go from the 47, but there's a penalty flag. Holding going to be the call on the Roughers.
Good. I was going to say, I thought I saw a hold in there for sure.
From the spot of the foul, that'll be back upfield at the 49. The line of scrimmage had been the 46, so they'll walk off the 10-yard penalty from that spot. And the umpire will tell the Rougher offense, you got them to keep moving on back. All the way back to the 41-yard line, and Roughers into the field. So 9 to get to the midfield stripe plus 23 downfield means it's 2nd down and now 32. Walker Newton takes the snap, throws it out, a little swing route. Isaiah Gibbons trying to use his elusiveness. 45 midfield, turns on the speed. 45 and all the way down to the 40-yard line goes Isaiah Gibbons. Almost a lateral toss, Nick, kind of to the boundary. And had Gibbons matched up one-on-one, he showed his elusiveness and is able to scamper upfield. Going to the 40-yard line on the opposite end. 3rd down and what will be 13 for the Roughers. Play action. Newton throws it out in the flat. Payne gets the catch. Tries to shake one man. Has him. 30, 25, 20, 15. And finally going to be tackled inside the 10-yard line. All the way to the 8-yard line goes the guy wearing number 8, Raheem Payne. Pass and run combination from the 40 to the 7-yard line. Roughers overcome a 2nd and 32 and now have a 1st and goal to go at the Bartlesville 7-yard line. Wow, what an extra effort that time by Raheem Payne.
Payne with a great move and then broke some tackles.
Newton will hand it off to Gibbons, who tries to drive right side and got very little. Might have got a yard from the 7 to the 6. Let's see where they'll place it. Call it no gain at the 7. Referee's just not able to get that winning result on the line of scrimmage in the run game.
Nope.
4:18 in the clock running, 38-14 Bruins. Leading the Ruffers here on senior night. Zapata and Bell will be a pair of receivers split wide to the right. Givens into the left side of Newton. Handed off to Isaiah, and he's got, again, a host of white jerseys corralling him downfield at the 5, a 2-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 5. 3rd and goal to go from that spot. Clock showing 3:50 to play here in the third quarter.
7 carries, 7 yards tonight for Isaiah Givens.
See what the Ruffers will dial up offensively here on this third down situation, but without question, it's 4-down territory here, Nick. You can't really just say, okay, we'll take whatever points we can. But
you got to go for it.
Payne and Bell will be split wide to the right. Zapata matched up single coverage out on the near side. Newton takes it. Play action series. Rolls left. In some trouble. Eludes attacker. Throws at the last minute. Short. Caught and dropped.
Oh.
Tried to throw it to K.D. Freeman at the last possible moment. And the pass was dropped by the Ruffer receiver.
Freeman had it for just a moment, but took a hit and dropped it. And now it'll be 4th down for the Ruffers.
And Watkins says, okay, we practice this every day. These guys deserve their opportunity, and Skyler Onebear is going to come on to try a field goal. T will be placed at the 12. Jaden Bell will hold. 3:16 to go in the contest. Good snap, ball down, kicks on the way, drives through the center of the goal post. Good. And the field goal try from Skyler Onebear of 22 yards gives the Ruffers 3 more points on the scoreboard, and it's Bartlesville 38, Muskogee 17 when we return. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
New Silverados up to 15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings at the all-new J. Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
Welcome back to Indian Bowl. Ruffers turn a 76-yard drive and overcome a 3rd and 32, or 2nd and 32. A couple of big play efforts, one from Isaiah Givens, and then a nice pass and run combination, Newton to Raheem Payne, and then unable to push it in from the 7-yard line. Ruffers get 3 points on the scoreboard on the 22-yard field goal from Skyler Onebear.
So the Ruffers do a good job there. Get some momentum back offensively. I was a little surprised maybe that Rafe didn't go for the touchdown, but you take the 3 and live to fight another day and create yourself some momentum by at least getting some points on the board. And as you said, overcoming a pretty dire situation there on 2nd and really long.
So now Onebear will put the ball on the tee for the ensuing kickoff.
Oops,
and then
the ball falls
he
off.
sets it on the tee and it topples over. And just watching the body language of head coach Rafe Watkins, he said, yep, that's about par for the course tonight. 38-17 Bruins with a 3-touchdown advantage. High end-over-end kick will send the return specialist for the Bruins back inside the 10 to the 17. This is Caden Davis trying to turn the corner. One man to beat and did a nice job over on the outside edge. Check and see who that was that made the tackle. Here. Oh, that's a 27, and on my updated roster, I don't have a 27.
Okay. It's a nice tackle, though.
It was. Whomever wore that jersey tonight. Football will be at the 27-yard line, ironically, with 3:09 to play here in the third. Bruins with jet sweep motion, counter, handed off straight up the middle. McCoy runs into the Ruffer tackler and stood up and then pushed back upfield. Nice effort by Isaiah Givens. You know he's got to be a bit frustrated. His offensive efforts tonight being switched over to defensive play to try to get some success from the linebacker spot, but a nice gain from the 27 out to the 34. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the powder blue and white clad Bruins.
Well, it's what you want to get good yardage on 1st down. Gives you all kinds of options on 2nd.
Paxton Bradford calling the signals. Play action series, keeps the football himself, and Ruffers will try and corral him short of the line to gain. First guy that got there was Devin Whitfield.
Be a little bit short of the 1st down by half a yard or
Needed
so.
3, got 2. Well, now they're going to push it upfield, Nick, and make it at the 37 and call it a Bartlesville 1st down.
All right.
Caden Davis will be one of the receivers, along with Gage Keaton, split wide to the left for the Bruins in this formation.
83 yards on the ground tonight for Bradford in 10 carries.
He's exercised a well-oriented game plan. Now a little jet sweep motion, handed off inside again. McCoy straight ahead, just lowers his shoulder and drives straight up the gut before he's met upfield at the 45-yard line. Aiden Kemp was one of the guys that come up to make the contact. 8-yard gain on 1st down. The clock running inside of 1:30 seconds to play here at quarter number 3. Bartlesville with 1 touchdown. The Ruffers with a field goal, the scoring here in the 3rd quarter. Bradford, motion, counter, keeps it himself, runs into his own guy, then bounces off like the pinball in the machine that you used to play in the arcade, and falls forward upfield to the 49-yard line. Would be enough for a 1st down. 4-yard pickup.
4 yards gain after it looked like they were going to stop him for about a 2-yard pickup.
Bruins just content to play it pretty close to the vest here, Nick.
And you can't blame them.
No.
They've got the momentum going their way, and they're having pretty good success on 2nd, 3rd downs, getting 6-7 yards just about every play.
So 1st and 10 for Bartlesville. They don't have enough. Yeah, there's the extra guy. Give it off on the counter straight ahead. McCoy just churns those legs forward and powers his way across midfield down to the 44-yard line in Ruffer territory. That'll be another 7-yard gain. 7-3, 8-4, 7 for the Bruins. 5 plays. They move from their 27-yard line now to the 43 in Ruffer territory. 2nd down and what will be 2 yards to go, what well may be the final play of this 3rd quarter, if indeed the Bruins do snap the football. Play clock and game clock just almost in sync. Bradford will set his offense. He'll hand it off to McCoy, who sidesteps the first would-be tackler. He gets down to about the he's going to get the 1st down.
Yep, it's right at the sticks on the 41-yard line.
And the play clock has expired here in the 3rd quarter. 12 minutes remain here on what is Senior Night 2020. And the Ruffers need a little Ruffer magic to stem the tide and reverse the fortunes. Trailing 38-17. We return to the 4th and final quarter after this 60-second timeout of Ruffer Football 2020.
When you come home after a long day, Bravado Wireless Home Internet has you covered in your neighborhood or on your farm. For a limited time, our unlimited home internet has been discounted to only $49 per month with the purchase of a $99 router. And get this, the first 3 months of service is on us. So what are you waiting for? Make the switch today and visit us at bravadowireless.com for more info and to find a store near you. We are Bravado Wireless, and we believe in the power of connection.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905. Serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back to Indian Bowl. 4th quarter set to get started here. Bruins, Bradford handing it off on a little jet sweep to Kay Davis. Coming right to left from the 41-yard line inside the 35 to about the 32.
That's been the key for Bartlesville in this drive. They've been getting 7, 8, 9 yards on first down just about every series so far, and that makes it a lot easier.
And with a 3-touchdown advantage, content just to power run the football. Bradford this time with Winters to his right shoulder. Brings McCoy in motion. Reads it, keeps it inside the 30 and down to about the 28-yard line as the side judge steps in. But that'll be enough for the first down on the 4-yard keeper by the senior quarterback who a year ago, Nick, was playing in the defensive secondary.
9th play of this drive so far for Bartlesville, and they just kind of steamrolled it down the field.
Indeed they have. 11:08 and the clock running. 38-17 Bartlesville. Again, motion. Handed off inside this time, giving to Braden Winters. He'll get downfield from the 28 to the 25. A net of 3 yards on the carry.
Well, that'll help defensively. This time they don't at least get 7 or 8 yards on first down. Makes it a little more challenging for the Bruins.
This will be the 10th play in this series that started back at the 27-yard line. Bruins almost now with 5 minutes time of possession in this drive. Bradford going to read it, keep it, lunge downfield inside the 25 and down to about the 23. So a 2-yard pickup. The Bruins will be facing a 3rd down and 5 as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the 4th quarter tonight at Indy Bowl, with the Bartlesville Bruins holding a 3-touchdown advantage, 38-17 over the Muskogee Roughers.
First time the Bruins have had to go to 3rd down in this series.
Bradford on a long cadence. Motion. Fakes the handoff. Cuts inside of a tackler at the 15 and lunges down to the 10-yard line.
I thought that play was going to be a bust. Looked like he missed the handoff, but kept it and went up the middle, and C's parted and opened up for 13 yards.
And a 1st and goal to go from the 10-yard line. You're right, Nick. I thought that play was going nowhere, but Bradford able to elude the would-be defensive effort of the Roughers.
Puts him over the 100-yard mark now, rushing on the night. 14 carries, 106 yards for Bradford.
The Baker's dozen 13-yard pickup puts it at the 10. Bradford will clap his hands. He'll call his own number again, and he'll get down to about the 7-yard line before finally his forward progress being stopped by the Rougher defensive efforts. Trying to read numbers out there, Nick's a little bit difficult here, but appeared that was Aiden Kemp, one of the Roughers that got in there. 2nd and goal to go from the 7. Bradford. Stand up and look over to the sideline. Travis Hill trying to make sure he's got the right personnel in the right spot. They'll counter. Bradford this time will hand it off, and it's just a cakewalk into the end zone. Bartlesville's Braden Winters straight up the middle. Rumbles the distance on the 7-yard touchdown run.
73-yard touchdown drive for the Bruins. Takes up a good chunk of time as well.
44-17 with McCoy on to try to make it a 4-touchdown advantage. Ball is down, the kick's up, and it is good. And with 8:37 remaining tonight here at Indian Bowl, Bartlesville in cruise control, 45-17 over the Muskogee Roughers. Back in 30 seconds on Rougher Football 2020.
We are what makes Oklahoma proud. We are mothers. We are coaches, counselors, and teachers. We are community. We are innovators in medical technologies. We are researchers developing breakthroughs to diagnose, treat, and cure diseases. We are everyday people. We are Northeastern Health Systems.
Indian Bowl Senior Night 2020. And the Bartlesville Bruins have been doing what they've not been able to do the last couple of weeks, Nick, and that's been successfully maintain a running game. But they've done it certainly here in the second half, and that drive that went 73 yards, and Braden Winters getting the touchdown effort, certainly shows you the success of their game plan here tonight with a 45-17 advantage.
Yeah, they're approaching 300 yards rushing tonight. So McCoy, who's been Mr. Busy tonight with the kicks and runs and points after, will kick off again for the Roughers.
He has been Mr. Ever Ready Energizer Bunny. Bell on the kickoff return, fields it at the 3. Jaden out to the 20 and then wrestled to the ground at the 25-yard line. On a 22-yard return by Jaden Bell. 8 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here at Indian Bowl. And the Roughers will start 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Only points here in the second half of the Roughers coming off the 22-yard field goal from Skylar Onebear. That was on the last series. Nick, that was a big time of possession, 3.5 plus another 3:09. Almost 6 minutes and 40 seconds time of possession in that last touchdown drive for the Bruins. Hand the football off to Isaiah Gibbons. He's wrapped up in the backfield and turned upside down. Nice defensive effort that time coming again from Curtis Fodder, the 6'4", 245-pound senior defensive lineman. Loss of 3 on the play, back up field to the 22 or to the 21. Ball had been marked at the 24. Newton throws out in the flat, caught by Payne. Raheem going to be corralled and stopped for no gain. They're going to call it upfield to the 21-yard line. Tried to get a block out on the edge from his teammate, but the Bruins defensively did a good job of fending off that contact and stopping Payne for no gain. Just unable really to stretch the field, Nick, and that's allowed the Bruins to crowd the line of scrimmage and press the coverage, and it certainly created challenges for the Rougher offense tonight.
Yeah, 3rd and long again for Muskogee now.
3rd and 13 after go to the 34. Walker Newton, blitz coming off the right side in the pocket, steps up, lobs the pass up, fields Zapata with a catch at the 30 to the middle field, 35, 40, and
penalty marker down.
Antonio Zapata, and there may be a roughing the passer.
I think that's going to be exactly right. Yeah, I think Newton got hit after he threw the ball.
Well, Zapata from the 21 up to the 45. That's a 24-yard pass and run. And we may get more tacked on to that afterwards.
After the pass was thrown, personal foul, looking to passer, that penalty will be administered from the end of the run, an additional 15 yards, first down.
Somehow that dialect and that sound of the official's voice tells me he is not a native Oklahoman. Sounded more like he might be off the East Coast, you know.
Yeah.
The 15 yards will be tacked on after the 24-yard pass reception to Antonio Zapata. So with the plus 15, Ruffers have it at the Bartlesville 40-yard line. Newton back in the pocket, slings one across the middle, intended for Jaden Bell. That was a little sidearm effort, kind of looked more of a baseball release than a football pass. Incomplete pass, stops the clock with 7:07 to play tonight here at Indian Bowl.
Ruffers trying to at least tack on some more points here, if possible. This one kind of got away again in the third quarter for the Ruffers.
It really got away in the second quarter.
Well, to a degree, yeah. I guess
when it got up
true.
to 31. Payne and Bell are split wide to the right. Zapata up top to the left. Newton going to throw across the middle. Bell with the catch at the 30, trying to elude a tackler at the 25. Jaden showing his athleticism and his determination will get to the 23-yard line. 17 yards on the pass and run combination. And a J. Hodge Chevrolet Cadillac Ruffer first down and 10.
215 yards passing tonight now for Newton.
Bruins set their defense. Ruffers this time will hand it off. This is Isaiah Gibbons at the 20, 15, spins at the 10, fighting for extra yardage, lunging down to about the 5. That's the best effort we've seen tonight by Isaiah Gibbons. He'll go from the 23 to the 5, 18 yards and another. Jay Hodge, Chevrolet Cadillac, Ruffer first down this time and goal to go. Quick snap, hand it off to Isaiah. He's collared right at the line of scrimmage. Might give him forward progress to the 4. Ruffer's trying to maybe catch Bruins looking down rather than looking straight ahead on a quick snap. Now the Cowboy package with the extra blocking backs will come in. Ruffers have it actually at the 3-yard line, Nick, so they gave Gibbons credit for 2. Isaiah this time to the left shoulder of Walker Newton. Takes it, looks for a crease, trying to use his blockers and his offensive linemen to win the surge at the line of scrimmage. And the big Mush Hogs will try to plow a field of running effort for Walker Newton, who will get downfield to the, actually inside the 1. Officially a 2-yard gain for Walker Newton. 3rd down, goal to go. Big Heavy's up inside with an extra blocking back. Newton takes the snap straight ahead off the block of Isaiah Gibbons, dances into the end zone for the 2nd time tonight.
Easy going that time for Newton as the Mush Hogs just moved him out of the way, and he just kind of strolled into the end zone for that one.
Well, that caps a nice drive, Nick, of 76 yards. And now again, Carter Stewart trying to go 3 for 3 tonight. Snaps down, it kicks away, and it crawls over the goalpost. Good. 45-24, Bruins lead the Ruffers with 5:22 remaining tonight here at Indian Bowl. Back in 30 seconds. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
There's an old school way of doing business here at James Hodge Ford. Exceptional service, a firm handshake, and the best price around on a new Ford vehicle. Of course, don't forget our Hodge promise to you, our customer, that's stronger than oak. That's just a great way of doing business.
The James Hodge Ford promise. The best selection, the absolute best price, and service guaranteed. James Hodge Ford, 1200 North Main, Muskogee, online at hodgeford.com. 45-24. Walker Newton, I want to say Isaac Newton's. Walker Newton's 2nd touchdown run of the night. And the Ruffers cut the gap to 45-24. Nick?
Ruffers with a nice drive there. 76 yards in 8 plays.
Right.
Yeah, 8 plays. So very good. Got helped out with the roughing the passer call a little bit.
Driving kick this time between the defenders. Davis will revert to his 5-yard line to pick it up. He'll wait for blockers. Now come left, come back inside. There's a penalty flag on the play. This may be an illegal block in the back against the Bruins.
Yeah, a couple of the officials here on the near side threw flags, and generally on the kick, that's what you're going to have.
Davis Efford gets back upfield to the 27. Well, now wait a minute. Yeah, 27 is where the ball would be placed, but that's before we have the court ruling.
Here in the run back, we have holding on blue. That will be 2 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st and 10.
This is a hold, not a block in the back, but the same effect.
10-yard walk-off will put it back upfield at the 17-yard line. Our Supreme Court Justice explaining the outcome of the docket there. All I'm going to say politically, Nick, is to anybody and everybody, get out and vote. Vote for the candidate of your choice. Bradford, this time going to hand it off. Winters coming straight ahead. He gets out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Actually, that's not Winters this trip. It's Colton Sutton.
Number 4, Colton Sutton.
Well-known name in the Stillwater area, is it not?
22-yard line.
17 to the 21 as they mark it, a 4-yard pickup. Paxton Bradford running the controls, brings motion across the formation, hands it off again to Sutton, straight ahead, breaking through 2-3 tackles, still on his feet across the 35, and tiptoeing his way up to about the 40-yard line. That's a 19-yard run for Colton Sutton, the 5'11", 180-pound sophomore for the Bruins.
That's just a matter of not getting the tackles, as the Roughers had him all surrounded, and the Bruins just kind of kept pushing, and the Roughers didn't tackle him.
Well, Nick, as it has been on more than one occasion this season, this is a very tired defensive unit that has been plagued by injuries as well, but they've been out there a good portion of tonight. Motion across the formation. Bradford this time going to call his own number, and he'll get upfield to about the 43 before finally being corralled by the Rougher defender, Tion Brewer. Freshman, 6'3", 240-pounder, and he is a good-looking young man. They say, looks good on the hoof. Man, I'm telling you what, that kid's got it. 3-yard pickup to the 43. Call it 2nd and 7 for Bartlesville. Now T.K. Thompson hobbling off, and Antonio Zapata will rush in to take his spot. Bradford this time with a running back behind him. Will turn, hand it off, and Ruffers that time came in a hurry, and this time it is Devin Whitfield, the junior defensive end, stopping that one after only a 1-yard pickup. But the Bruins just stretching the time off the clock on each possession, on each play.
Well, they will face a 3rd and 6 here, so at least a little more of a challenge than they had in the last drive. They only went to 3rd down once in that last drive that took over 6 minutes. Running the play clock down, now inside 10, and they're just now breaking the huddle.
Bradford will get him set to the line of scrimmage in a hurry, and the Roughers jump offside. Big guys in the defensive middle losing their balance, falling into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty will move it to the 49, where instead of it being 3rd and 6 now, it'll be 3rd and a yard to go.
8th penalty of the night against the Roughers, 63 yards.
I think our Mr. Referee's getting tired too. He'd already called that one a first down. 3rd and less than a yard to go. Bradford, you might expect him to call his own number here. He'll actually hand it off, maybe made the wrong decision for the rare occurrence tonight. Gave it off on the crossing handoff to Caden Brown, who will be wrapped up back upfield at the 44-yard line. So the 5 yards gained on the penalty, lost 4 of them there. And it'll be a punting situation for Bartlesville. But the play clock down, the game clock now down to 2:15 to be close to 2 minutes before the Bruins will snap the football. How about Jaden Bell? Electrify the crowd at one time. Take it to the house. Something to get excited about as the night comes to a close. McCoy fumbles the snap, keeps it. Now he'll run with it. He's got a lane. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Nobody to stop him. And he'll take it to the house on a bad snap. Fake punt. And a touchdown, a 56-yard run by Dylan McCoy. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Pain, despair, and agony on me. Those were the words from the old hee-haw.
Well, I guess that's
program.
a little vindication for McCoy, who lost yardage in the first half on a punt where he went down to get a low snap and touched his knee. This time he fumbles the snap and still gets 56 yards.
And now he'll try the PAT. High snap, the kick is up, and it's good. Timeout, 1:47 to play tonight. Bartlesville has put up 52 points and have a 4-touchdown lead over the Muskogee Roughers. 52-24, Bartlesville in front. We're back in 30 seconds. You're watching Rougher Football 2020.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael E. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, social security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Welcome back on Rougher TV. 1 minute, 47 seconds left to go tonight. Captain of Starship Enterprise, the Rougher TV crew, Shane Stewart, out of action tonight, along with our normal producer, Kylie Gialetti. We want to say a big thank you to Steve Braun for manning the controls tonight. A lot of help from the student crew. Again, another short pooch kick. This time Ruffers will catch it in midair. 35, 40, 45. Out to near midfield goes Isaiah Gibbons. Ruffers will have it at the 49-yard line in Bruin territory.
Well, that time the Ruffers put some of the sure-handed folks up a little shorter that time. May have fooled the Bruins, and Isaiah Gibbons gets his hands on the ball and makes a nice return into Bruin territory.
Nick, again, say a big thank you to Josh Garner, Gracie Jameson, Maddie White, Kylie Gialetti, and our newest member of the broadcast team, Bree Gialetti. Ruffers in action next Thursday night on the road at Choctaw. Newton, this time going to hand it off. Batiste trying to come to his right, needing a block, and angles his way downfield to about the 45-yard line before Colton Sutton comes up to make the stop.
Takes the ball to the 45-yard line. Gain of 4.
Minute 23 and counting as Newton hustles the offense to the line of scrimmage. Bell and Payne wide to the left. Play action. Newton in the pocket, under some pressure. Throws it downfield and just, I don't know if Jaden Bell pulled up, if he turned the wrong way, or Newton's pass just had to be delivered because there was heat coming in his face. But the pass was off target, and it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance on that one as he threw that way out in front of Bell, and I'm not sure Bell didn't maybe pull up a little bit. I don't know if he may pull a hamstring a little bit there. It looked like he
could have cramped up a little bit. You never know. Been very warm this week, and the hydration obviously becomes critical. As you heard the comments from Coach Leo Krajewski, the trainer for the Ruffers. Newton going to air it out, looking for Antonio Zapata, and can't come up with a football. Pretty good face-guarding defensive effort that time again by Nick Folks, who was watching the eyes of Zapata as he threw football. It'll start hard to say. How do you pick a Rougher player of the game in a 52-24 loss? And they're guys that maybe deserve some attention. You might have just called one of them right there on that play.
4th down for the Ruffers here.
Big situation here. 4th and 6 from the 45. Newton in the pocket. Pressure up the middle. Newton looking to throw across the middle in traffic. Raheem Payne has the ball bounce off his hands, and it's deflected and intercepted by Jackson Glenn. That time Newton threw it in a crowd, Nick. He tried to rope right in between 3 defenders, and the ball was deflected, and the interception effort of Jackson Glenn gives the Bruins back, and they can touch the knee twice in this game will be history.
Well, the Ruffers coming into this game really needed a victory tonight. Now they face the meat of the schedule coming up in the next 3 weeks with Choctaw Thursday, followed by Bixby, and then Tulsa, Washington.
Bruins will circle the wagons in victory formation. And tonight here at Indian Bowl on what was senior night will be a disappointing night for those guys in their final season as a Rougher, as the Bruins will have to snap it one more time and pick up their 2nd win of the season in a 4-game losing streak. The Ruffers had won the last 4 encounters against the two teams, including last year 44-27. But here tonight, it's been Bartlesville from start to finish. And the Bruins will have a 52-24 victory as they get the win here on this Friday night at Indian Bowl. Final score, Bartlesville 52, your Muskogee Ruffers 24. We're back in 3 minutes. This is Ruffer Football 2020.
Pain is temporary. Pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. From setback to comeback, the name you can trust, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
There has never been a better time to buy than now. Drive a little, save a lot at Nissan of Muskogee Ultimate Used Car Sales Event. Save thousands now on all in-stock models. Come see us today at Nissan of Muskogee. Online at nissanofmuskogee.com. NissanofMuskogee.com. That's right, NissanofMuskogee.com. Use your cell phone, tablet, computer, we don't care. Just shop our huge selection of new and used online and then just pick, click, and drive. Why wait? It's that easy. Log on today at NissanofMuskogee.com.
JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee brings mobile digital imaging to you anytime, anywhere. JTK Imaging Services offers parents-to-be excitement and comfort of 3D and 4D ultrasound with ultrasound as low as $100. Services at JTK Imaging Services also include mobile digital ultrasound and x-ray anytime you need them. Discover the difference online at jtkimagingservices.com. JTK Imaging Services of Muskogee at 1631 North Main.
Tradition. It's a word that means a lot. Just as the tradition of the Muskogee Ruffers requires commitment of great players and coaches, Lesher Millsap Funeral Home takes pride in providing great value and commitment every day with a tradition of service to the families of the Muskogee area. Just like in football, tradition must be earned on every play, every day, not just in the final score. And that's why you can trust Lesher Millsap Funeral Home to be there for you when it counts the most. Lesher Millsap Funeral Home, proud to be part of the Muskogee tradition of excellence.
I'm Gil McLaughlin.
I'm Brian Kirkhart.
Thanks, Muskogee. Your hometown mortgage team, Muskogee Mortgage, the McLaughlin team, is proud to be Muskogee's preferred mortgage company.
We are extremely honored to serve you. Just like the Ruffers have a game plan for victory, our daily game plan is to assist families to reach their financial goals.
Thanks, Muskogee, and good luck, Ruffers, on your drive to win in 2020.
Your new home isn't so far away with the help of Muskogee Mortgage, 3241 Chandler Road, Muskogee, and online at MuskogeeMortgage.com.
The Muskogee Athletic Department would like to recognize its proud Ruffer Athletics sponsors: Armstrong Bank, Oklahoma Army National Guard, Arvest Bank, Chick-fil-A Muskogee, Neighbors Building Neighborhoods, St. Francis Muskogee, Tommy Nix Auto Group, Springs Skilled Nursing and Therapy. Go Ruffers!
Welcome back to Indian Bowl. Final score tonight here at Indian Bowl. Muskogee Ruffers losing to the Bartlesville Bruins 52-24. Ruffers dropped to 0-5 on the season, and more importantly, 0-2. Bruins scored on their very first offensive play of the night. Dylan McCoy going cross-country, 67 yards. A few minutes later in the first quarter, the Bruins would add a 10-yard touchdown run to make it 14-0. Before Walker Newton would get the Ruffers on the scoreboard. Still in the first quarter, down 14-7. But the second quarter was really kind of the downfall as the Bruins expanded out to a 31-7 advantage when Paxton Bradford found Kay Davis on a 43-yard touchdown strike on a long pass. The Ruffers would close the half on a couple of big plays from Antonio Zapata and plus a personal foul penalty for pass interference against Zapata in the end zone, and then Batiste would get the score just with time remaining in the first half, making it 31-14. Bruins took their first series, and just as they did in the first half, scored on the first play. They end up going the difference Caden Davis on a 23-yard run. That made it 38-14. After Skylar Onebear knocked home a 22-yard field goal, the Bruins would put together a 6-minute drive that would go 73 yards with winners the final 7 to make it 45-17. Following an interception, the Ruffers get it downfield, and Walker Newton again would culminate a 76-yard drive as he gets in from 2 yards out for his second rushing touchdown of the season. Carter Stewart's PAT was good. Ruffers added 7 more to the scoreboard, but then the Bruins finished it out, and they get the win by the final score of 52-24. Nick, it started good for the Bruins. It finished strong for the guys wearing the powder blue, and in between, the Ruffers got a massive migraine headache.
Ruffers on the night, 15 first downs. They rushed the ball 36 times, but had only 55 yards rushing. 13 of 25 passing for Newton for 215 yards. So 270 yards in offense for the Ruffers. 2 fumbles and an interception tonight. Big, costly turnovers for the Ruffers. 8 penalties for 63 yards. For Bartlesville, 16 first downs. They rushed 41 times in the game for 280 yards. 5 of 7 passing for Bradford for 62. So 342 yards in offense for Bartlesville. 5 penalties, 64 yards. Batiste, the leading ground gainer for the Ruffers tonight, 11 carries for 38 yards. And McCoy, 17 carries, 201 yards, and a passel of points with touchdowns and points after.
52-24, the final score. We'll give you some of the other results from District 2 of 6A2 football and set up the lineup for next Thursday night's fall break encounter at Choctaw, and we'll name our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game. That after this final 60-second timeout. You're watching and listening to Rougher Football 2020.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
New Silverados up to 15,000 in total savings. Hi, Jay Hodge, and it really is the best time to buy at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Tell them, Rick.
Summer sale down of all new 2020s.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings.
Don't overpay, come see 15KJ.
New Silverados up to 15,000 total savings at the all-new Jay Hodge Chevrolet of Muskogee.
144 West Shawnee.
52-24, the final count tonight here at Indian Bowl. And among the other action involving District 2 6A2 football competition, a top-ranked lineup, Bixby at home against Choctaw, and the Spartans continuing their winning streak as they beat Choctaw by the final count of 24-13. Ponca City at home got the win over the Patriots of Putnam City West, 21-7. And the other outcome in the district, Booker T. Washington with a shutout against Sand Springs. I figured the Hornets would win, but not by a 49-0 final count. 52-24 is the final score here. So with tonight's results, Bixby will remain on top as the only unbeaten team in the district at 2-0. Then you have Sand Springs 2-1, Choctaw now 2-1, Booker T. Washington at 2-1, Bartlesville and Ponca City at 1-2. Then it's Putnam City West at 0-1, Ruffers at 0-2. And next Thursday night's lineup will have the Ruffers on the road. They'll travel to Choctaw to take on the Jackets. That'll be a 7 p.m. start on Thursday night, fall break competition. Nick gave you all the numbers of tonight's ball game, and of course he'll write about tonight's encounter in tomorrow morning's edition of the Muskogee Phoenix. Final score tonight, 52-24. I think for those of us here in the broadcast booth, it is a consensus landslide victory on the ballot box. No need for the Electoral College here in picking our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the game, and that award tonight will go to Muskogee senior Antonio Zapata. Want to say again thank you to our Rougher TV crew. Get well soon, Kylie Gialetti and Shane Stewart. We need you back here with us on the road. Looking forward to seeing you guys back as a part of this effort. And also to the other members of our crew, Maddie White, Gracie Jameson, Josh Garner, and our newest member, Bree Gialetti. 52-24, the final score tonight from Indian Bowl. For Nick Hampton and executive producer Steve Braun tonight from Indian Bowl. Remember, in victory as well as in defeat, it's always a great day to be a Rougher. Good night, everybody.